Hello, everybody, and welcome to the quarterfinals here of Blue Otter Emerald. I am Sharpie, and I'm joined here right up above me by Gitano. How are we feeling here in this as we're getting into this really exciting Game 1 draft?
I'm ready for it. I did a best of five last night, and it just hyped me up for even more best of five. So I'm really intrigued. Let's take a look at some of these bands. What are you seeing?
Yeah, we're gonna hop right into it. Skarner Band, not too surprising. Jinx, Aurelion, Soul, also no big surprises. Twitch is an interesting one. Must be a target ban against one of the Woopers over there on the red side from Syndicate, which will be on our blue side. I'm gonna do a quick rundown of some of these picks here. Anything standing out to you outside of that Mordekaiser that was R1'd over there for Woopers?
Yeah, that's probably something that he's just super comfortable in. Let's get that 1v1. I get ahead, I start pulling two people, or I can take out a very important part of the target system once those objectives come. So this Braum Ash combo that I'm seeing, very old school, loving that, really lock someone down and really cause that chaos.
Yeah, Braum Ash is a solid pick. Ari, Olaf, Nautilus, and Cassio were taken off the board in the second round of ban. Sorry for the bit of the delay here. My internet crashed right as we were getting into draft, and so I had to reset the router, and that's why we're jumping into the middle of this draft. But hopefully it all runs good this time. Oriana is going to be the blind pick mid lane for Syndicate, and top lane they're looking to get a counter up against that Mordekaiser, and it will be the Gwen.
Yeah, I think maybe it was too much failured elements going into your screen at once because we have, Ash, Braum, just everyone that's, Sejuani, and they're really freezing up the system as of right
Yep.
now. So I'm kind of glad they didn't choose Volibear, Brand, or anything else that could have crashed our system entirely here.
Nope, it's just gonna be Talia who's gonna be throwing rocks, and hopefully none of the rocks hit my router. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But first set of drafts is already done. How are we feeling? We've got the Zeri Lulu, that's an exciting one. We have the Oriana Sejuani, solid mid jungle combo, and that split push side lane threat of the Gwen Mordekaiser that can really flip both ways. It's kind of up in the air who actually wins out in that one.
Yeah, it's that 50-50, so we'll see if any jungler decides to take an early gank up there and really kind of push their foot forward and get that side lane ahead. But that Oriana just screams that mad team fight. You throw it on the Sejuani, Gwen can dash in there and kind of get that, and really also to help that command and protect as well on that Zeri with the Lulu. It's going to be difficult to get back there, but that J4 with that flag and drag can really dive the backlines pretty easily.
Yep, I like the proactivity from both these junglers. They both have that level 3 gank ability, so that'll be a big thing to keep an eye on early on. On top of that, maybe some invades, because Braum is like the best invader at level 1, especially with the slow from the Ash. They could easily burn a flash early if they wanted to. They get a good invade, so another thing to keep an eye on, especially. Additionally, that level 2 from Braum can be very strong. But yeah, top side, it's just going to be whoever wins out can snowball the lane really easily. Mid lane, you got those scaling control mages. And bot side, outside of some all-in potential if the jungler roams from that Ashe Braum combo, it's kind of a scale up and look for team fights and look for picks type of angle there as well. So who do you like in this draft here? It's hard to choose a favorite for this one right off the bat.
I know, just looking at both team comps, they're both very solid. You know where their pressure points are, and I think it's going to come down to that early gameplay of who's going to make, that first move and, who can kind of keep their head above water here once they do make a mistake or someone does get a little bit of a lead, how are they going to counteract that? But looking at this, I'm going to go with the Woopers here, just the Ash Braum J4. There's a lot of engage tools that can be used here. They do have great disengage the peel, and you love to see Mordekaiser take someone to the Shadow Realm and just 1v1
Oh,
them.
yeah, I feel ya. Now, here's on the flip side. Outside of that Jarvan, there isn't a crazy lot amount of that backline threat. So I feel like with the Zeri, with that Lulu, there's a chance that this game goes a little bit later. Zeri could just 1v9. So I'm actually going to put my faith in the Sentinels or Syndicate rather, simply because of that Zeri Lulu combo and that peel that you can have with the Ori and the Sedge. So we've kind of splitting it back and forth here. Whoever's going to win this one though is yet to be determined. They have to play this one out, and we're gonna have to just wait until we can hop right into the game.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a level one, like you said, there, early invade by Braum. I'm hoping to see it, but I'm not going to hold my breath as, usually we see that standard 5-point start, but, maybe someone can put a bug in their ear for me. free skins all day. If they get a Penta right away or someone, I'll give them a skin. I'll put that out there. Oh, I think we lost our other caster here. Was having some problems, and maybe the failure did freeze up his system a little too much here. They are getting into the draft here. We're gonna hit a little bit of a break here, and stay tuned for game one.
All right, everybody. I think my internet is fixed yet again, despite the efforts of those three Freljordians trying to freeze it. We've got a bit of a 5-man run it down mid here for game one. We'll see. Maybe we do see some fun shenanigans with that Talia Braum level 1 invade. We'll have to see what they look for. Here comes the Braum.
Yeah, just a little bit of a cheeky start there. Ash going down middle, just showing but pressing him back a little bit, and everyone following into that bush. But Suri's doing a great job just kind of staying at home there, seeing, kind of sniffing out what's going on and backed up. So unfortunately, no level 1 invade.
Yep, no level 1, but they're going to get vision onto each other's kind of camps here. They're not going to get vision onto that red buff, so I don't know if they actually saw the Jarvan and Mordekaiser sneak through. I don't think they did, but that red trinket there on Syndicate's red buff is going to kind of basically ensure that they know that Soccer 25, I guess Soccer 25, we'll just call it that, is going to be there on that Sejuani starting on the blue buff, whereas they don't know quite where Painless there for Woopers is going to start for another few seconds, at least until he pads down to the little KFC camp over there with those Raptors.
I mean, hopefully they taste good. If they're fresh, it's gotta be good. But Rob throwing the door right away level and trying to find something. Unfortunately, the door's a little too heavy and, just a little behind the target there.
Double range lane. Braum needs to be careful here. Ghost has popped.
Yeah, both Ghosts grabbing up that stun here. So now just Flash is having to worry about. And that fight top lane here, Mordekaiser, level 1 here, trying to get the better of Gwen. Gwen having that auto heal as well. Flash being blown as well as goes for Gwen.
Yeah, Flash, Ghost trade. Gwen actually won out pretty hard on that trade as they see Jarvan there on that ward. So they're going to know that Jarvan started red buff. Yeah. Interesting trades there topside. It's very coin flippy who wins that one out. It's very strange as well, like depending on who wins in those extended trades, it can go kind of both ways. I think it starts to get more in favor of Mordekaiser, though once he hits that level 3 and can get that shield to stay alive much better in those extended trades. But for the first level or two, Gwen can definitely win out on it.
Yeah, both teams just kind of spitting fire right now, going back and forth. We see it top side, bot lane, and now mid lane as well. Just everyone's kind of doing each other just a little bit of testing limits and trying to figure out, what exactly they can get away with at these early levels.
Got lots of testing. Raijin there on the Gwen has not yet reset, and so is going to be able to crash this wave and come back with a better base. Mordekaiser didn't actually end up buying anything, and so this is going to be significantly in favor of Raijin, who doesn't want Mordekaiser to freeze the wave. As now you'll see it kind of crash, so that means Raijin can back off a little bit, do that reset, teleport back in, unless Mordekaiser decides to stop it. Here on the bot side, Soccer 25 is looking and is going to run into Jarvan on the scuttle.
Yeah, we'll see something does come up. Smite fight going down here. It does end up going towards Woopers here.
Wooper picks that one up. That's a win for Painless.
You always hate when you start the scuttle and you're just about there and then the jungler and everyone else collapses and you're like, come on guys, I just need 2 seconds. Let me be for this.
Yep. He's going to smite them both up. So that's a double scuttle in favor of the Jarvan, which is really nice for, scaling that XP towards level 6. Raijin's kind of hanging out, trying to stop Painless, and will stop the reset delay the reset at least for maybe 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah, just a little bit of a delayed recall there, but will end up going back here, picking up a few items, a little bit of a CS lead here. Top lane started to balance out after that top wave did crash here, looking across the board. Nothing too crazy yet happening.
Nothing too crazy. Top side now, Gwen needs to be way more careful because Mordekaiser will win with that shield as long as Mord can't stack it up. Now the CS is pretty even, but Raijin has a nice wave and a half there to catch. As Soccer's going to clear that. No, it won't. Raijin is trying to freeze the wave and is willing to even sacrifice a couple minions for it. Wants to set up a nice freeze there. That empowered Q didn't land onto Raijin, so that's pretty strong, though. That's going to make it a little bit more difficult to hold the freeze up against Geyser.
Yeah, those, especially level 1 through 3, those minions do a lot more damage than what people realize or expect at times. And with that giant wave, you do end up losing 100 or 2 health, but you do end up freezing it in a nice position. And we do see Mordekaiser backing See what he grabs up here, if he's going to go more of the AP route or a little bit more of the resistance.
That's a nice little bit of chunk there onto Okami. Gonna force that last health pot out, which is gonna be nice for Ishan, who is down about 10 CS. So Okami has been having a very nice early laning phase up against this Talia. But the Jarvan showing up does help. Now, we were talking in the early draft a lot about these level 3s, and I guess we did see that kind of level 3-ish happen around those scuttles. But outside of that, we haven't seen a lot of ganking at all. We had that top skirmish go funky. Bot lane, they blew. The combat sums there with the ghosts. And mid lane has just been kind of content to farm. So not a lot of action at all from these junglers, as Jarvan up in the top is going to be starting up those grubs. And Sejuani is looking for a flank onto the bot lane.
Yeah, she's around that corner here. Looks like they will find out the problem. That door is able to absorb so much damage at the stand side, really just helping them escape there. It's going to be really hard and difficult to gank this bot lane if Ashe is not the target and caught out of position.
Yep, Ashe having to burn the flash, but that's all you get from that, which I guess is good because that's an immobile AD carry, but you'll kind of take that at the end of the day. Painless taking 2 of those grubs. Raijin is hovering down, is going to see it right now. Painless does have the smite though, and will be able to flag and drag over the wall. Or don't, maybe I'll just go for the reset. So that's 3 grubs for nothing.
Dragon on the other side here being looked at. Orianna moving from that mid lane down. Bot lane as well, kind of grabbing up there. We'll see if there is any contest. I don't imagine there be, just because J4 has not moved an inch yet. It looks like they are content to just hand this one over.
So this is a big advantage over to Woopers because both junglers started topside. Painless taking the topside objective as that red buff spawns means that his tempo is going to be even more ahead for that Jarvan. It's going to be hitting level 6, I believe, quite a bit sooner than Soccer 25, depending on how much CS Soccer took in that bot lane and engage, or experience from the CS he took, rather. But Painless should be hitting level 6 here in the next camp after he resets. So Soccer is actually quite a bit behind on the tempo. That blue buff is going to be up for quite a bit of time, just doing nothing but sitting there enjoying its time in the jungle.
Enjoying it, but probably not for long, as J4 does have plans with it. Looking across the board here, we see a couple of tiers coming out. I'm seeing more of the late game here for the mids. They are both playing, and both teams, as we stated earlier too, at level 3, a lot of ganks, but it looks like they're going to be playing more towards that mid to late game presence here, as laners are just kind of content trading back and forth. No need to call for any ganks. We can just handle it on our own.
Yep, mid lane, we're seeing a bit of an invade here. They're looking for Lulu, who might be in some trouble here. Nope, it's going to be able to hang out in that way, in that bush rather, and not step too aggressively forward. Jarvan has reached that level 6 before Soccer, so he's going to be able to step in here and aggressively look to take some jungle camps away. Could even look for that red buff potentially.
Yeah, they know what's up after that vision here, and it looks like he is going to be taking Sejuani towards that blue. We'll see if she ends up going towards the top side and making something of that Mordekaiser here. No objectives yet on the board, so they are free and able to kind of...
They're going to look for a dive here.
Yeah, J4 towards that backside. Suri tried to clear a little bit of the wave, starts to move forward, does not want J4 to get there, but the Cataclysm comes down. First blood from soaking up the damage there. Great job on that dive.
That was a really well executed dive, very patiently done as well. They weren't rushed, they weren't, kind of in too much of a hurry to end the play. Ashe had used that vision with that E to just check and see if Soccer was anywhere close, as Soccer was somewhere close, but to the other lane. Mid lane dive gets executed brilliantly. Double ultimates both land, and goodbye, Ishan. No throwing rocks for you for the next 10 seconds.
Yeah, great job of taking the KFC camp there and just going straight overboard. And that wombo combo really hit home here. So Mordekaiser trying to 1v1 here. Ghost pops out. Not really trying to go anywhere here. Pops the ult. Gets a little bit more movement speed at the end there. Ooh. And the amount of health she gets back with that ultimate does keep her alive.
Yep, Raijin going to live. It's the same thing though. Ghost for flash trade, and they both blow their ultimates this time as well, but nobody dies. So it's been that time though was much more in favor of Geyser on the Mordekaiser. Got Raijin running for life. Ashe gonna pop the ultimate. We have a fight.
Oh, J4 looking for the repeat here. Going down there. Stun goes out. ultimate for the Lulu here. Tries to pop in the Zuri and get a little bit of health, but unfortunately it's a little too late. Talia also going down there, trying to cut off the Lulu, but does not find it.
Yeah, it was a great fight there though from the Zeri. Got quite a bit of damage down, but it was just, you know, you're a Zeri with like half of an item and some Reeboks there, so you're not going to be exactly doing a lot of damage. They're looking for another dive though here as the wave crashes.
Deja vu again here. Braum launching the ult. Flag and Drake coming from the J4. He is soaking up a little bit. He's got to get out of the tower range. Ash doing a great job of staying in there, and they will pick up another kill.
Zeri can jump over the tower here.
Yeah. Braum doing a good job. Unfortunately, just not quite enough as J4 bites off a little more than he can chew, and does hand over the kill there. Mid lane as well.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, nope. Mid lane as well. Orianna doing a good job. The 1v1 right now. Really taking her lead, and that Archangel staff already stacking up to its full.
We've got another ultimate topside.
Mordekaiser here. I felt like the last time the Mordekaiser ult came down was a little bit of NASCAR. She was running around. No ghost now. And unfortunately, the hammer comes down, and it's a little too much for Gwen here.
Now, this is what Syndicate last picked here for themselves. They picked the Gwen into the Mordekaiser, and it's going terribly wrong here. Gets solo killed, and has almost gotten solo killed another time earlier on as well if it weren't for the Ghost. And Geyser is really running this top lane. It's not going to be a fun game for Raijin from here on out.
Yeah, with that Rylai's Crystal Scepter already completed, Gwen's going to have to find a little bit of help here from the Sejuani to get up there and kind of really lock him down, because these ults, unless you can really, you know, have that mobility with that Ghost or be able to shuffle everything around, this Mordekaiser is going to stick onto you like glue with that item.
Mordekaiser, a very sticky champion indeed. Second dragon is going to be spawning, and it's going to be painless on the Jarvan who's there first, but they do have vision in it, do Syndicate over there, so they will know it's happening, although that pink ward is going to kind of negate that for the moment. Braum going to use that Hex Flash to jump over the wall, and Painless going to whip the Flag and Drag, but that's okay. You can't let them all.
It's tough, you know, you do it a million times, muscle memory, yep, get distracted for once, and that's all it takes. Dragon going over there, nice and easy, nothing too crazy. And at the end of the day, we're going to remember they took the Dragon and not missing the Flag and Drag. At least we hope so.
Yeah, this is one of the big benefits you have about Geyser winning out so hard topside, as Gwen pops ultimate there. I think potentially by accident, because no one was even around. Maybe was looking to use the ultimate to stop Geyser's back. But yeah, this is one of the big benefits you get of having a topside that's winning as hard as Geyser is. You're allowed to just let Mordekaiser be, and you can put all the prio in the world you want to bot side. That's what's really been setting up these fights bot side, allowing Jarvan to dive bot. Now you can see Jarvan is hanging out in the bottom bush again because you don't ever really have to watch top side. Mordekaiser can pop that ult and do just fine. So they can look for another fight here whenever. Jarvan has the ultimate, and they're looking for it. Here comes the Hex Flash.
Yep, Braum looking for the target here. Zuri does end up getting Flag Drake and Cataclysm there. Not too much to do with the Thunderdome, and Lulu, unfortunately, is going to be following straight to that gray screen after that.
That's a 4-0 Ash. This game is quickly snowballing out of control. Bot lane is winning super hard now. Mordekaiser winning isolated in the 1v1. The only thing that's really going in favor of Syndicate here is that mid lane. Okami has a nice 25-30 CS lead and has 2 kills. Although Okami might be in trouble. Soccer is looking over that Raptor pit though. Yeah,
Flag and Drag, the Sedge unfortunately missing a little too much there. Does flash over the side. Sejuani still tanking up all this damage, trying to get out of there.
Comes Mord.
Mordekaiser does try out another flash, but the ultimate comes down. Tower's still hitting, but no one's there to help.
Gwen is running down, and Geyser doesn't know this.
Rylai's Crystal Scepter. We'll see if it ends up paying off here. Boots too as well for it. Trying to get out of there. Does end up sticking. Braum roaming up from the bot side. Seeing if he can tank up a little bit here. J4 towards the side. We'll see if there's any Flag and Drake. Not quite yet. I think they're going to start dissipating here.
Yeah, that was just a little bit too aggressive there from the Woopers. They needed to tell the Mordekaiser, you don't need to go into that bush. You have no vision. You don't know where the Gwen is, and you've already used your ultimate. Just back off straight down the lane. You have the ability to do so, but decides to roam over into that bush and gets punished hard for it.
Yeah, not quite what you want to see, but there's still, you know, I feel like he still has that presence of like, all right, I'm pretty far ahead, but that lead is not as far as he'd like here. Top lane now, we'll see if in the Mord fight, if anything does go differently this second time, but that shield just very difficult to get through at all.
That fight would have been so much more winning for Geyser if he had just landed that final Q. But either way, Raijin's going to be forced to reset. It's actually a really good trade there from Raijin because you're about to recall anyways. So you want to trade as much of that health as you can to give you an advantage. Painless though.
J4 flagging a dragon over here. Gwen using the TP, but unfortunately not at the right time. Braum having to flash away from the Orianna as well. Slamming that ult, trying to get a pick here.
Okami is slowly starting to take over this game though, is 2-0, got that assist there as well. Ashe is going to use the ult though.
Yeah, Ashe arrow flags him as well. There's not much for her to do. She has no flash, nowhere to go. Lulu trying to help her out here, but unfortunately to no avail. Flag and drag going down, doesn't find the kill, but Ashe is able to step up and pick up the double.
6-0 now on the Freljordian Queen. She's going to reset and probably pick up a Trinity Force would be my guess as that next item, because I don't really see what else you could go with that Sheen. Ultimate going to come out from Mordekaiser though. Here we go.
Yeah, 1v1 here. We'll see. Gwen popped ult earlier, just about 10 seconds before this one happened. Unfortunately, Mordekaiser has the advantage here.
Yep, goodbye. Top line is going just more and more in favor of Geyser. He's going to be able to push forward, crash under wave. Gwen has no TP. He might even look to try to take the second tower of the game right here. So Geyser is having a very, very strong showing here in game one. Doing this completely isolated too.
Yeah, no real help, just kind of really showing off the pick here, and that's the reason why he was able to pick it number one. Pick one, just being able to flex that and just say, hey, good luck, give me your best, you know. So I think right now they just need to maybe put a band-aid on it, give up a dragon if they don't feel comfortable, get a little bit of farm going here, and really let that Orianna continue to scale, because one good Oriole can really change everything. But as of right now, they need to just kind of let things go as they need.
Just content to chill out for now. Third dragon is respawning here, and Painless has prio yet again onto it. Ashe is sitting in there to catch next wave, but they don't really need the Ashe. They have Mordekaiser down here. Talia pushing out that bot lane as well. In the top side of the map, Soccer, you can see, is taking that Rift Herald. Meanwhile, it's going to be a Rift for Dragon trade. That's going to be the second dragon over to the Woopers, which is going to help them in that dragon stacking, as they can take Dragon Soul if they get the next few, but 28 minutes, which is pretty decent tempo for it.
Yeah, it would, you know, if they end up grabbing the next one too, that really puts pressure on their neck to be like, all right, next fight's kind of do or die. So we'll see what kind of situation we're in with that. But top lane here looks like they're going to be grabbing the tower. Lulu trying to poke out that more, or not poke out, but just deter a little bit. But pretty scary Mordekaiser right now. I don't think I'd want to be trying to 1v1 with this top lane.
This tower is going to drop, so thank you, Rift Herald. There's a dive mid lane, though.
Yeah, Flag and Dre going in. Braum ult as well, knocking down the door. Good job soaking up everything and letting Ashe take that kill here. 7-0-1 Triforce and the, let's see here, the Kraken Slayer as well. She is going to be dangerous.
Very strong Ashe, indeed. It's a bit more of that DPS on hit style than like that full crit that you sometimes can see on this champion with that Kraken Slayer into Trinity Force. I'm curious what Ashe is going to go third. Given how much AP they have, I would not be surprised to see the Wit's End, and we see that Negatron Cloak. That's probably what we're going to get with this on-hit Ashe build. So, very strong Ashe, though, in this game.
Yeah, just a little bit more survivability. She has the damage. She's been playing well, really posturing herself great in these fights, so I think that's a smart call, just going a little bit more defensive since you already have so much damage they're kicking out. So, but we're kind of also on that time scaling as well. You get the Lulus, or enough time to kind of build up, and that Orion as well. We've seen her do great work in the solo lane here, and I imagine there's going to be some nice Orioles here, hopefully no donuts.
We don't want to see any donuts, sombreros, or I don't know what else would be round.
Goose eggs? Something like that.
Goose eggs, yeah. Either way, Baron has spawned, and Woopers are hanging out right here. They're kind of looking for that T1 Baron where you just say it's 20 minutes in, screw it, we're going to go Baron. Flag is going to come out. They might look for a fight here.
Yeah, they're kind of dancing around it here because they know they're going to have to be responded to. So it's almost like they're, you know, hoping the fight is initiated by them while still not starting to start the Baron. While, yes, they may have the damage for it, they're not going to do it as quick as I think they should here to really kind of capitalize. So a little bit of a fake play here of going for the Baron pit.
Yeah, it's a fake play, but you also need to be very proactive. Zeri is up 10 CS or so, and it's a Zeri who's closing in on second item. And that Zeri, and once she gets about 3 items, we'll just be really online. There's not much they're going to do. And here they go pulling the trigger.
Sejuani here, the target here. Catechism, flash going out from Sejuani to get out of there. Fight going down. They're trying to get out of here. Gwen TP towards the backside on that vision board here. We'll see where the fight stands here. Zuri towards the backside. Let's pop the ult. Starts packing everyone in that backside here all at once. Orianna ball out there. Not going to find anything quite yet. Fight's going back and forth here. J4 towards the backside, trying to find something. Not going to have something. Braum, the next target here. Shutdown going on, and that is a 2-for-0. Love to see it.
Yeah, they pulled the trigger and used both of their big engage tools onto a Sejuani. The Sejuani dashes back. Orianna gets a triple shockwave. Gwen teleports in and does massive damage with that ultimate. And then it's just Zeri on the side there in the river, cleaning him up one by one. Zeri now has 3 kills in their belt. Baron is going to be going over to Syndicate, and this game has completely turned on its head, and it's a gold lead back over to Syndicate as well, and Zeri is going to be coming fully online here, as well as the Gwen. Good luck going forward here, Woopers. You just threw the game away.
Yeah, it's definitely not the fight that you wanted to see. You pushed a little too far for a target that really wasn't your prio pick there. Yes, you burned a lot of flashes and thumbs out for it, but at the end of the day, you lost Baron, you lost everyone on the team. You know, you gotta start remaining calm here, let that Ashe build up, but also find Zuri out. She's gonna start to, you know, a lot of shutdowns with those golds. She's gonna start going online and just even with Baron now, I'm curious on that top side if that Mordekaiser is gonna stick with that Orianna, maybe ult and try to get that Baron off of her.
Yeah, there's a chance that Mordekaiser just completely shuts down Okami, but Okami is very strong and does have that shield as well from the Seraphs, and so I'm not really sure who does win out on that one in the long run. Hard to say at the moment.
I guess we'll never know. Ori going back towards that mid lane here. A little bit of grouping here towards the side of the mid. We'll see if they end up trying to get that Zuri picked out, but yet friends are waiting in the wings. Sejuani here with that passive and then shield not being able to be slowed or stunned up there. But Gwen finding out this Talia. Forwards are unfortunately going to be popped back, not going to find her with the tower there as well for safety. But Dragon is up and this could be bounced 2-2.
Yeah, Mordekaiser is probably going to commit to the split push. Talia got chunked out completely by Raijin. So that's going to mean Dragon 4 going over to Syndicate. We're evened up, like you said, 2-2. Zeri going to go over and pick up that red buff as well. Top lane, the push didn't go super well, but mid lane, they're actually going to be able to chunk out that inner tower. So that's a nice little bit of map control going back over to the Woopers as they're trying to get their feet back in this game. And they've actually picked up a bit of a gold lead for themselves off of that mid lane tower take for themselves.
Yeah, Baron 3/4 of the time used up on that there, so not too many objectives looking at it wise, but end up grabbing the dragon. You leave a little bit of pressure here. You can still give up a dragon if needed. So we'll see what time will tell here. Gwen finishing Riftmaker. I'm guessing the Stinger here is next for that. I think once that is complete, there might be a little bit more of a fight here towards that top side, but still Mordekaiser being that big beefy beast that's able to just kind of run them down.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit more frustrating to watch Syndicate here, just because you have Baron, and the Baron is about to expire, and they did nothing with it besides take Dragon. They ended up actually losing gold on the play, and so I just haven't
Mordecai.
seen a lot of proactivity from them. Mordekaiser is still doing the thing topside and still winning out against the Gwen. But you need to be proactive, Syndicate, when you have Baron. There's a bot lane tower that's kind of halfway gone. There's a mid lane tower that's a little under halfway gone. There is so much you could have done if you just grouped up and forced for a tower, but you took legitimately nothing besides that dragon. So sure, you get a bit more time to scale for the Zeri, but you could have had so much more if you'd been a bit more proactive.
Yeah, and that could be just the way that the game tempo is playing. They're like, all right, let's just get what we can while we can, and we're gonna be okay with it instead of kind of putting the hammer down on the gas pedal and kind of really, bringing it forward here. So we'll see if they end up changing that mentality and that style here later. Baron 2 minutes up, so nothing on the field really as far as the next objective. So we'll see what kind of rotations ends up playing. Great wards placed down here for Woopers as they can see pretty deep in to the jungle.
They're just going back to clearing their their jungle camps and just kind of clearing waves back and forth and not really pushing for anything either side. Mordekaiser, though, is that one kind of I can do whatever I want in this game character at the moment. Definitely has that main character syndrome going on there topside. But yeah, outside of that, they're just content to clear their waves and I guess wait for the next Baron/Dragon contest here.
Yeah, more scaling and more scaling. They're possibly once again here too. You're laying that Zuri, take her time and kind of get more and more items here. Now 3 items complete here. Once we hit into that 4 and 5 range, it's going to be even worse to come kill here. Talia, J4, Braum, all towards that bot side. Might be looking here for a dive bot lane, but they are going to get spotted out, it looks like.
Yep, they're looking for that dive. Okami backs off. They can go back and catch the wave, and that's what Ishan is going to do. And try to push this wave in, and maybe since they have so much weight pushed here bot lane, they can step forward and try to get some damage down onto that tower because it's just an Orianna. But Orianna is pretty strong at this point and can clear out that wave quite quickly. 3, 2, 1, goodbye.
Baron now 45 seconds away. A couple of vision wards being placed down by that area. We'll see if there's another repeat fight here. If Mordekaiser is going to go bot lane, try to drag someone down there to stop him, or if he is just content to kind of stay top here and just keep 1v1ing the Gwen here. He's got a cool noodle, but there's a little bit of weight behind it now.
A lot of the Gwen is really trying to get strong. We saw in that last Baron fight just how much damage that Gwen can put out, even though teleporting in way out of position and dying for it. That TP and that ultimate really just won them that fight and got them right back into the game. So here we go, Baron number 2. The teams are showing up except for the split pushers. The Talia and the Gwen are ready to teleport in though at a moment's notice. We saw how good that teleport was from Gwen in the last one. We'll have to see how it works out for this one as they're just playing the vision dance at the moment. And once we get started with the Baron fight, we will have another banger 5v5 where hopefully nobody lives and everybody dies and it's a great time.
Right? Just all of a sudden everyone goes all in right at the Baron pit. Baron has the final say and just ends up acing both teams. I mean, I feel like he should gain a buff then if he clears out both teams. I might submit a ticket to Riot after this game.
I feel like he should. That would not be a bad idea at all. I like that. Dragon is respawning here in 5 seconds as well. It looks like Woopers are happy to just say, hey, the dragon is respawning. They might be looking for it. Let's rush this Baron down right now. Here we go. We're flipping objectives.
Pushing out the damage here from that Ash on in here. It looks like they have yet to discover that no one's on the dragon, but they do a little too late here as that Baron's going to be going down. And dragon is not even started yet. They might have an opportunity to run across court here and grab both objectives.
Yep, Ash has put the vision through. They're going to see that they might have time to get down in here. I don't think they will. Yeah, they're not going to be quite in time, but they can still take a fight here. Braum's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Braum getting chunked down there. Has to flash away. Orianna ball right in the middle that we're having to see. Sejuani ult trying to grab someone. Unfortunately, not going to find him when it went towards that front side. But is going down, finding 2 in there. Ash doing a great job on the backside. Tried to chunk down the Sejuani, but she is so tanky because of that here. Mordekaiser also getting picked out a little bit. So you took Baron, lost the Dragon. We'll see if they do something now with that Baron.
Yep, this time they're being a bit more proactive with it. They're going to push forward and they're going to take a tower right away. despite being up against that Baron. So even when they lose the Baron, they push forward and look for towers. When they gain the Baron, they sit back and look for objectives. It's a flip-flop type of game here. But you know what? We're not in the comms. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I'm just here to spectate. I'm not actually a player. I don't know.
Exactly. There's a reason why they're players and we're spectators, but you never know. Maybe they got the confusion wrong. They got a call from upstairs. Somebody flip-flopped just a little bit of papers one way and, take Baron, no objective, no Baron, take him. I'm not sure how it played out, but it did here. Let's see, towards the mid lane, J4 and crew as well, trying to push that down with the Baron buff being that aggressor, while Mordekaiser is up on the wing swift.
Yep, they're pushing forward with that Baron. They're content to just let this one clear out for now as Mordekaiser pressures that bot lane, like you said. Jarvan kind of clearing out some camps as well as they let the top lane maybe go catch that as well. They got the 3 stack in the mid lane though, waiting for the next wave to show up. Mordekaiser just empowering those minions, giving Gwen a little bit more of a time to just sit there and have to clear them out more. And just take more time to clear them.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's kind of roaming or hovering towards that top side, leaving that Gwen and Mordekaiser towards the bottom on their own devices here. Looks like a little bit of a 1-3-1 action going on currently here, unless J4 decides to step over. Is on a little bit of vision, looking for the blue buff. Does end up smiting it away. Great job there.
Now, I still want to see Woopers get more out of this Baron because you gave over double soul point, and it looks like they might push in for this now. Jarvan has a nice angle too, by the way.
Yeah, J4 going to the Zuri. Zuri just punching right over. Oh! There is the Orianna ult that we talked about earlier, grabbing 2, and that was a very key component. TP being used by Gwen. By Gwen trying to get over there. Unfortunately, not going to find anyone. Everyone just kind of backs off, and you step forward the pressure, but it may have been a little too much. Plus, Zuri's really hard to lock down there, so not sure if that was the correct call.
Yeah, like, they pushed forward, but the Jarvan going in that aggressively is not the play. You don't have your 80 carry. Soccer's looking for, and it's going to be the field goal is good between the 80 carry and the mid laner. And there's another tower taken against a Baron empowered team. Although their Baron did just fall off, so maybe we'll give them credit for that.
Yeah, 3 more points should be put on the board. I'm not sure who we're going to give it to or what we're going to give it to, but we'll mark that on the side there in case someone is keeping score of what they should have at the end.
Yep. Either way, that is 3 points over to Syndicate for those of you who are tracking the football stats or play fantasy. You get 3 points for your entire team. At least Soccer 25 gets 3 points for a good field goal there between the players.
Yeah, I feel like now his objective is just get more fantasy points for anyone who has picked him. So, a rate of... I think I may have seen a field goal before, but we won't count that. We'll just count this one. He's 1 for 1, 100%. And it looks like Mordekaiser did end up taking the bottom tower, if I'm not mistaken, during that curtain. So they did get something of it, but you'd hope for a little more.
There just hasn't been a lot of proactivity. They're both... I feel like they think they're both so evenly matched, and both teams kind of feel like whoever starts the fight loses. Since they both just have so much peel and kiting ability with that Ashe with the slows and the ghosts, the Braum peel, the Talia peel, the Mordekaiser can ult people out. On the flip side, Lulu has that ult, Sejuani has that ult, Orianna has that ultimate, Zeri can just dash over walls, and just it's very difficult to initiate fights on either side unless you can get onto the backline. So both teams just kind of want to sit back and let the fights come to them. You want to set up first instead of take the fight.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a Minnesota niceness now, possibly for the next Baron. If, oh no, you take it. No, you go ahead. You do well with it, But Dragon coming up here in 15 seconds. See which team wants to pull the trigger on that. Sejuani waiting in that Raptor pit, able to jump over and really pop that ult. Ashe Arrow will be able to, not Ashe Arrow, but the scouting report for Ashhawk will scout some people out here. Gwen not quite there, no TP yet either, so if their fight does break out, she is roaming up. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm just waiting for someone to pull this trigger.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Red team turret. Gwen did take the tower there bot side. We're just waiting. The dragon will be finally started up though. Geyser is hanging out. Where is Sejuani? Sejuani is over the wall and does know, so can look for steal. Does take it.
Cloud Dragon's stolen over here, but middle of the fight. Braum being the first fall Atleticus is going down. Unfortunately, going to be picking up a double is Orianna grabbing that. Has to flash away is Natalia towards that backside here. Zuri still towards the end. Does pick up another kill as well. Mordekaiser tried his best to get in here and get the meat of everyone, but unfortunately, bite off a little more than he can chew. Will be going down as well. Shut down by Zuri, and that is not what you wanted to see.
Nope, that's going to be the team fight when Dragon's stolen away from you as well. That's a triple soul, triple dragon soul for that Cloud, and they're going to be able to run right over here as well. Zeri is here to pick up this Baron. Painless not going to be around for another 15 seconds, so there's no shot big contested unless Ashe gets like something real funky with that ultimate. But I don't think that's how the interaction works. It doesn't do any splash damage, does it?
I don't believe so. Even if they might have to call up someone in the booth and be like, hey, can we get that random Karthus all that kind of hits games every once in a while and just time it out.
What it is the Karthus lands the... No, hear me out. You play Ashe, you reset, all right? You pick up Malignance, and you just ult the thing, and you hope that Malignance gets, gets the spread out, and you steal the Baron with Malignance, and you just undo to get back to your original kit.
I'm not sure why she wasn't quite listening when you were giving out that master tier advice here. So, maybe for next game, they might have a quick little powwow session. Coach pulls them in and say, hey, this is where you kind of messed up. Make sure you hit it on game 2.
Yeah, when they're going for that Baron Ashe, reset, sell your items, pick up as much AP with that Malignance as possible. Just kind of figure out when you think the Baron's going to go down, ult it, and then undo before it lands so that you can make sure that you can actually undo the item cells. I'm pretty sure that's how it still works.
Yeah, we're
not. You gotta undo it, and
come on.
Instead of going from a 0% chance of stealing, you go to like a 0.5% chance of stealing it, because there's like that 1 in 20 or whatever, or that 1 in 200 that soccer just miss-smites it, and then you've got that chance of you're just as likely as anyone to steal that thing away.
Exactly. I'm not sure what's kind of holding them back here with that, but it's all for game 2. Still got to concentrate on game 1 here. There's still time. There's still room. Anything can still happen.
Geyser is no longer winning out in the side lane. Okami, they've got this blue buff as well. A lot of poke coming out from the Orianna at this point, who has the death cap completed and is almost about to finish that 5th item. So it's a very strong Orianna at level 18. This tower is going to drop. Soccer dashing forward just to kind of zone him off. And that's another tower dropped. 3k gold lead to Syndicate at this point.
Yeah, Sejuani, just that big beefcake up front that no matter how much you're doing to her, it seems like she's always just laughing, or has the final laugh at the end there. Going all the way across now, possibly going to join up with that Gwen and take another outside tower.
Gwen is pushing out topside. At this point, Gwen has 3 items and is building towards that 4th, which is probably going to be that death cap as well. So it's going to get really difficult here. Mordekaiser needs to be careful. Pops the Death Realm.
Yeah, trying to find the 1v1. Unfortunately, he's not going to really do too much with it here as tower. Kind of stay in hold. Sejuani, no 3 points. Does find the Braum, though, so I guess we could count that as 1, but tower does fall. They have to back up, and this is just a hurdling team that is kind of on a timer here. Orianna grabbing 4. Great job. Big forward backside as well. Flag and drag. Let's see if they have enough damage here, though. Zuri, unfortunately, finding too many as well as the Orianna. They had a great play there, finding out 4 right away.
Yep, it's just another team fight win. Huge shockwave from Okami on the Orianna is now 8-2. And this game, if they can do this right, they can probably end it right here. It's 5 against 2, and it's just an Ashe and a Braum. So yep, they're gonna step forward. There goes 1 tower. Here goes the 2nd tower, and GG, Syndicate are going to take game 1 in this best of 5 in this quarterfinals match in Blue Water Emerald.
Great game there, just kind of back and forth. We saw that early Mordekaiser, that Ashley just swinging so hard, but at the end of the day, that Orianna really brought it home with that Sejuani.
Yeah, Orianna, Sejuani, just so strong in those team fights. And then Zeri being allowed to just fight again and again and again, basically uninterrupted, because they kept using their engage, not so much for the backline, but to start a fight at the front line. And Mordekaiser just doesn't have enough gold at that point to really 1v1 super hard. The Ashe arrow did land onto Zeri, if I recall correctly, but Lulu was there with the Mikhail's Crucible to just instantly cleanse that away. And they can just keep free hitting for the rest of that last team fight. And it's a big win in favor of Syndicate here in game one, kind of turning it around after that early lane went so poorly for them.
Yeah, I think you called it there when we were doing the draft. If that Zuri is able to kind of really free push on the backside of that line and really not having the dive of the J4 being present, what else can stop her? So that was kind of the name of the game at the end there, as we saw.
Yep, just a lot to learn from, a lot to take away from this game. Just we saw really good macro, I guess you could say, from Woopers. They played the early mid game super well, but the team fighting from Syndicate was just so on point. It overcomes that macro, those rotations, those dives, etc. early game from the Woopers, and they pull out a big win for themselves. That's going to be a big confidence boost as they look forward into game two. We're going to step away for a moment as we get ready to get that game two lobby going. Go get your water, have a snack, take a break, and we'll come back here in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere, folks. This is Blue Water Emerald. We've got game two coming up in a bit. Welcome back to game two. After we saw a kind of back and forth game between Syndicate and Woopers, they have switched sides and we're into the draft right away. So far, nothing has changed as of yet, but we'll see if Woopers want to make some adaptations to this draft.
Yeah, a little bit of deja vu going back and forth here. We got the Ace Hole, the Skarner, Ivern, Jinx, Twitch, and Zuri being taken off. So a lot of 80 carries off the board here. We'll see if they start to try to pick those in this first rotation here, or if they wait here for the last. J4 hovering right now will get picked up as well. I think that J4 pick was a great one in game one here. So we'll see if a repeat performance will happen.
Yep, they want to get the J4 for themselves. That leaves Sejuani up for Syndicate if they want to take that. Zeri was banned away from their AD carry, though, so they have to pivot away on the bot side. They are going to take the Sejuani, it probably looks like. It worked out well for them. You got a field goal. Maybe you can look for another one. And it gives you the opportunity to get some more points on the board. But we'll have to see what their second pick is going to be here. I would not be surprised to see an 80 carry, and it looks like it might be Kai'Sa. It will be the Kai'Sa lock-in.
Yeah, Kai'Sa being able to build a couple of different ways here really kind of opens up a little bit more picks here for the mid or jungle, depending on what they want. But that Sejuani did such a great job towards that mid to late game. I'm guessing that's what that team comp is going to be built around here. With that J4 early, we saw a bunch of dives towards the bottom lane. He's super successful. And Kalista possibly being picked, not someone I see a lot, but right now I feel like it's kind of how you play them, not who you play as much here. So Kalista being locked in.
Wow, a Kalista lock-in. That's going to be fun to watch, especially if you pair with something interesting. They are going to pick the Mordekaiser for themselves. It looked like it went super well there for Geyser in game one. And so blind picking the Mordekaiser is always kind of going to be an option, especially considering how strong it is right now. And yep, they're going to lock it in. So Geyser's going for another round on the Mordekaiser.
Yeah, you saw that early game, just the domination that he had, but unfortunately was not able to translate that to the mid to late game once the team started to falter. So we'll see if he depends to be a little bit more aggressive here in this time, or if J4 decides to really push that lead and maybe head towards top side. So final pick here for Syndicate. We'll see what they end up going with. Now this would be a great engage or disengage tool here, kind of the same tool as the Braum set. So yes, we'll be locked in, and now we go to bans.
Nautilus was banned away in the second half of game one, so Syndicate are picking up a nice champ for themselves that was banned out. We'll have to see what they want to look to ban away here. Sylas was banned around second rotation of game one as well. Might look to ban that away. I don't know what else would they get rid of, though. Kalista, you might want to get rid of the Alistar, because I know that's a very strong pairing. Gwen looks like maybe the ban, just to kind of take that away from the Mordekaiser, because as that game goes later and later, Gwen can really start to dominate in that 1v1 matchup. So you want to take away some of that AP top side, I guess, and some of those more difficult matchups for the Mordekaiser.
Yeah, I think the Gwen ban would be smart here. Yes, it struggled a little bit early, but towards that mid to late game really found success here, just, you know, causing a little bit of chaos and destruction. While the KDA didn't reference it, the team, you know, it really did help.
See what their last ban is. I want to see an Alistar ban, or maybe some other sort of tank that you can just throw in with that Kalista. But what else could you pick with it? The Braum could be good. The
Maybe Leona
Nautilus would have been good. Leona would be another good pick. But also they are going to toss away that Braum. Not a bad ban there at all.
Yeah, Braum, just that strong level 1 in case someone does get picked out. We saw a whole bunch of ults go down, that's stunning up. Orianna as well being taken away. You saw not a lot of bagels being thrown out there, and some really key shockwaves to really end that fight at the end towards the top side, grabbing forward right away and setting up the backside peel. So good ban there.
Looks like the pickup for topside might be Shen into Mordekaiser. That's an interesting one indeed. Have not seen that one very often. They're really doubling down on this Kai'Sa AD carry, unless they have some sort of, maybe like a Tristana mid or something, but I don't know how well that would work out for them. They'd have basically no AP. Have to see what they want to pick in mid lane. They're leaving it as a counter pick, which is probably smart here, because you've got that kind of tank versus bruiser topside matchup where Shen can just kind of chill and do whatever he wants. Not really worry about dying too much to the Mordekaiser. Cassiopeia is going to be the blind mid lane. which is a bit risky, but it could work out just fine for them. Cassio is decently strong in the meta right now.
Yeah, a little bit more of a mobile champ, but that's kind of what happens when you don't have feet. But the Chasma too, and just the being able to kind of stop a fight dead in its tracks when they are coming towards you. Swain being picked up here for the support, I believe, with the Callista here.
Ooh.
That could also spell some danger getting to that back line, hitting the Zanyas if you built Roa. Realize Crystal Scepter, a whole bunch of those tanky AP items to really kind of knock everything down. And Corki being picked up for that mid lane here.
Yep, it's going to be most likely, maybe we see a pivot over to that poke Kaisa, where you can have the poke from Kaisa, the poke from Corki, and you can just sit way back and not do any damage. And if they ever try to look to dive onto you, they can just Shen ult whoever's getting dove on and just walk back out. And sure, it's not going to be the easiest, early lane. Shen, is a tank and can stop Mordekaiser with that, shield from getting that third tap to get that passive going if Shen plays it right. And is definitely going to get pushed in pretty regular. He's not going to push the lane at all. But it's going to be one of those games where once Corki hits about level 11, this comp from Syndicate is really going to start coming online. And they're going to have quite a bit of utility about themselves. So if the Callista Swain don't get a good lead for themselves, they will find themselves significantly behind, very squishy, and with no damage.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that same boat too. Like, there's that Callista. You got to get at least 3 or 4 items deep before she really starts to come online. But until then, she's very squishy. And, we've seen the games kind of turn where no one really puts their foot down or really starts going for kills here till that 15-20 minute mark. And then it looks like the tempo really picked up and the goon squads really just started roaming around together, trying to find something. So we'll have to see how this game plays out here.
Yeah, we will have to see, completely shifting our expectations from our comps from game 1 to game 2. It's completely different styles and everything. We'll have to see how it plays out. We're going to go to a quick break as we wait for the spectator delay. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back with some game 2 action after the short pause. All right, we are back for game two. We've got a Corki, we've got a Shen, we've got a Callista, and we've got 10 champions on the rip that are here for some more banger action. 5 point coming out from the Woopers over there, and Syndicate are hanging out in the bush. They're on faker mode. They're hiding in bush.
Yeah, they're just hoping someone walks in there just to maybe award a quick red buff, get out, but doesn't look like that's gonna happen, unfortunately.
Will not happen, but they're just gonna reset and figure out where they want to go. No vision's going to go down anywhere, it looks like. So we're just going to have to. The junglers aren't going to know exactly where the opposing jungler is starting. They're not going to have vision on it. It's going to be a bit more of a guessing game here for now, as Sejuani did sneak in there and get a ward down. So Sej will actually know they're starting bot side. So a bit of a vision and info advantage over to Syndicate here. That was a nice little sneaky play from Soccer 25.
Yeah, just kind of waiting to the last second there and just pop his head in. So they're hoping the other side would have done the same a little earlier, but unfortunately, not gonna happen here.
Also, thank you to chat for calling me out for being a fraud. Shen, the auto attack thing does block the auto attack, but it does not block the passive. So Mordekaiser can still get that 3-hit passive going, no problem. So I'm just fraudulent, I guess. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No. It's the more you know, all right? There's no such thing as, making a bad mistake. We're learning from it here. That's what it is.
I feel like I was just sitting. I'm not even gonna take APA's line and say I was. Yeah, I was sitting over here waffling, and I was waffling about nothing. So I'm sorry to anybody who thinks that now. Oh, I can play Shen into Mordekaiser. Maybe you can't, and I just don't know how to play it.
You could be. It's all how you play the champion, all right? You could. I mean, if I took the best champion and Faker took the worst champion, a Magikarp with just Splash, he would end up beating me senseless. And it would be like, I don't even know if we're playing the same game at this point. I'm playing checkers, he's playing chess, and I think you're good. You're good.
All right. Well, it's Shen's having a doozy of a time up there. He's gonna try to clear out those minions. Oh, that's another miss right there. Let's see if he can get this cannon. No, does not get it. Oh no, it's not looking good topside.
Yeah, Shen missing out a little bit right away, trying to empower the Q with the
Oh, that's another one.
Stability.
Stop
counting.
Get it?
You're making him nervous. You're making him nervous.
I'm sorry, Raijin. I'm just trying. Okay. We'll let him clear the minions out in peace. I guess Geyser must have missed a couple as well, because there's only 2 different. Sure, there's a few that he's gonna be able to catch there. Nice shield there to block off that Q. I won't say anything about that one. Let's see. Yeah, we're just farming it up down here. Oh, Raijin's going a bit aggressive.
Going in, taunting, grabbing that shield down. But unfortunately, not a lot of damage being produced as Mordekaiser grabs that shield right back.
Yeah. We're just having a good time there topside. We're hitting minions. We're not getting paid for it. I love it.
Yeah, topside here, G4. Looking to see if something will happen. Shen taunting him a little bit even. Just, come on. Just try your best to flag and drag. We'll see ends up what happens here. No real action going on. I think topside has the most action. I thought this was going to be a little bit more of the one of the most passive lanes here in the game.
Raijin needs to be careful here. Oh, we're seeing a fight bot side.
Yeah, a little bit of back and forth here. Swain getting down pretty low. Knight going down by the Nautilus, but Mordekaiser on the top side picking up that first blood.
Yep, Mordekaiser gonna get a solo kill topside here at level 5. Almost got a solo kill at level 2 earlier on in the game. Mordekaiser's having a good time against this Shen. So whoever was in chat telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about this matchup, you were right. Shen cannot do anything in this matchup. Good luck. It's a survive lane angle, not a chill and do whatever you want angle. I'm just more fraudulent by the minute, it seems.
I'll still put stock in your words. I will, if I'm the sole owner of stock, I will still be happy. There will be a return. But yeah, Shen, I think, is just more on the survival mode, like you mentioned here, and just don't need to win lane. Just pick up what I can, and hopefully the other lanes can start scaling up and help out later.
Yep, it's going to be really nice for that Corki and that Kaisa as they level up, having a Shen on your team. It just gives you so much to play around, you know? Oh boy, here we go again.
I'm on the wrong side of the tracks, taunting through. More great job there, causing a little bit of delay, but unfortunately, Mordekaiser having the last laugh here. And I want to pose a question. Maybe the chat will know, but I was just curious if Mordekaiser does end up taking someone to the Shadow Realm, and you can just click on their portrait on the side for the Shen ult. Can you do that while Mordekaiser has them in his own little bubble? Okay.
No. I could be completely wrong. Anyway.
Shen here.
It's not about being. Oh, Shen died top side again. We're seeing a fight bot side too.
Yeah. Mordekaiser all taking Shen to the Realm. Can only get so far into that tower range, but Mordekaiser having the last laugh there. And towards that bot side, Swain going down here. Already was taken down by the Ignite from the Nautilus on the last fight there. And good job by Sejuani making the way down.
Here's what needs to happen at this point. This Mordekaiser Shen matchup is going abysmally. You need to take Mint and Ayrton and just rotate them topside after they take this dragon. You should have sent, I guess Shen can catch this wave and then rotate bot side. You really need to do a lane swap at this point, even though it sucks to do it at 7 minutes. I think it's what needs to happen just so Shen can sit back and farm experience, and then you can try to keep the Mordekaiser off the wave a bit better with that Nautilus Kaisa.
Yeah, I
think a lane swap is what you need to do.
Yeah, the Swain and Kalista isn't going to pop that Shen down as much as everything. He really has the shield. He's got the ability to farm it out as long as they're not holding that wave in a very hostile position to kind of grab that. But I think it's only going to get worse and worse here for topside. Shen in deep trouble now with J4 towards backside. Does end up warding. Pull from Mordekaiser missing and the flag and drag. Luckily, Shen was able to sniff it out just in time to get out of there.
Painless is going to head back. No, Painless might just come right back up. The vision does come down from Raijin. So Raijin's going to be safe for now. Had that extra ward in inventory. But Geyser is just completely zoning Raijin off the wave. It's a 20. It's going to be over a 20 CS lead by the time Geyser clears this out. Raijin is not having a good time topside. At least he's getting to catch the XP. But...
yeah,
not having fun in that gold department.
Definitely going to be behind item-wise. You know, if you use the ult, how much further are we going to be going back down the lane? So you really have to use that ability wisely here. Sejuani making her way possibly up top to help a little bit. Shen taunting in here. We'll see if that was the best choice here as Mordekaiser drags him back and starts pounding here. Does have the ultimate, does use it. Shen trying to run away, but there's no really where to go here. Sejuani towards the backside, trying to help Shen out, but unfortunately you can't help when there is nowhere to go.
It's going to be a ban Mordekaiser angle for game 3. Geyser is just being completely dominant on this pick. Painless is peeking down bot side. Now, here's the thing. Game 1 went similar. Geyser was just solo killing top side, and then they won through mid bot. As they're scaling mid and they're scaling bot lane, kind of just started to take over. Kaisa definitely Kaisa Nautilus, I feel, outscales a Swain Kalista. So the bot side scaling is definitely in favor of Syndicate, but I don't know if they'll have enough time to get there because Mordekaiser's up 36 CS, 3 kills, and they're just completely dominating this game.
Yeah, they're going to have to be giving up a tower, maybe even 2, possibly even all the way to the Nexus turret here at some point if they keep on lane and run ragged. But mid lane we see the Roa being complete by Cassiopeia here less than 10 minutes. We see the tier coming out, and on the other side Corki opted for the calls. They're really also playing more towards that late side.
Yep, they just... I still think a lane swap would have been the correct call here for Syndicate to do, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Little too late for that, unfortunately. I might have to put that in their notebook again for game 3 in case something like this does end up happening. Mordekaiser, bloodthirsty now, flashing in, looking for that Shen. Does not have ultimate quite yet, but does have the Rylai sticking like glue. A couple of tower shards coming in, but Mordekaiser's just be able to soak that up. 4-0 now.
Yep, Shen is just not having a good time at all.
Yeah, this is a top diff that's going to be happening here pretty quickly.
Yep. Now here's the one thing though. As good as this top lane is going, I don't think they're gonna lose as bad as Mad Lions lost in 1647. So they're going to be preserved away from the Mad Lions loss. I believe that they'd have to end the game in under 5 minutes. And while a challenger team could probably do it, we typically don't see that level of organized aggression at Emerald. So unless Syndicate, and even then, if they have the opportunity to do for it, they tend to play it on the safer side and not look to just push for those, speed run wins. So they're going to be preserved from the Mad Lions loss timer most likely in this game, just because the only thing that's really going in favor of them is topside. But game is still losable, although it's getting more and more difficult as they pick up their 6th grub here.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of tower pushing here, especially for that Mordekaiser top side. J4 looking for Cassio, or on the Cassiopeia, kind of doubling up there. We'll see if bot lane will be the next target here. Swain being picked up by the Nautilus. Also going down by the Swain. Try to survive here and do a little bit more damage. Kalista dragging Swain back in for the damage. A lot of stacks picked up on the Adakiri. Does rend and pull Nautilus as well. Grabbing down.
Here comes Shen.
There. TP towards the backside. We'll see if there is enough damage though. Double kill picking up for the Sejuani. Really helping towards that late game here. And pick up by Mordekaiser, and now 6-0-1. What is there any stopping point for this Mordekaiser? What is your win condition against him?
Yeah, it's just going to be a real difficult game to win out on. Corki does basically no damage at this point. There's the ultimate yet again.
You have package, but the package ain't going to do too much as you are sticking in there. Flash over the side of the wall. Great job there. Flicking out the boost right there, trying to get out of there, sending out some rockets. The team is starting to collapse on, but they have to feel pretty strong here yet with that Mordekaiser.
Yeah, Mordekaiser is just completely running this game. Geyser is definitely showing their 2nd really strong showing on Mord. Now, it is a 2,000 gold lead, but it's at 13 minutes, and 2K at 13 minutes is definitely not insurmountable. Syndicate have shown really good mid-late game team fighting, and Woopers were the one who had the really strong early games. So there is still potential for them to come back, and it's when they start getting some picks with the Kaisa. But we'll have to see if they can actually pull that off. It's painless. Oh no, you're going in 3v2.
Yeah, J4 just waiting in the wings there, waiting for it. Does pick up the Adakiri, and now the support's the next target. Nautilus going down. Mordekaiser trying to grab something up top. Shen having to go away. We'll see if they opt for the Kalista Grit. That solo tower plate here will be falling shortly. A lot of grubs being popped out there, and this tower with that attack speed is going to be dwindling down here pretty quickly.
Yep, it's starting to snowball slowly out of control. It's 3-point-something K gold lead now for the Woopers. Bot lane is going more in their favor. Mint and Ayrton looked for an aggressive play. Their bot side looked for the 2v2, but they just didn't have the correct vision down. Painless was sitting in that bush ready to go, and they one-shot Mint. And it's kind of like well, that's a bit unlucky. Raijin, that's unlucky for you too, buddy.
Yeah, it does pick up the Shen. He's got to stay within XP range, and that's about it. You can't even be in line of sight, basically, of that Mordekaiser. The way the aggression is going down, ultimate's going to be up here shortly, and if he gets you in that flash over there from the Nautilus, Cassiopeia ult, trying to lock everyone up. No field goal happening as she does get locked down, and Quirky picking up the kill there.
That's what you need to do. You need to use the Sejuani to get picks and get some gold onto Okami, get some gold onto Mint. And that time they do pick up, I don't remember who got the kill on that one, but they get a kill and they can push that way forward and get a bit more of an advantage for themselves. Stalker needs to be careful though. It's probably going to die here to the Kalista Ren. 3, 2, 1, goodbye.
Yeah, good job by Swain there. Just Dragon Sejuani in, burning the Ignite and really taking the target down while they had the opportunity there. Kalista 2, 1, and 3 now. Player of the Rune King going to be picked up next time back.
Here comes Ayrton, but it's going to be too late. This tower's already dropped. That first tower. Here comes the Kalista ult.
Yeah, ult going down. Swain also popping the ult, trying to grab Shen, also going towards that backline with the Kalista, getting stopped though by the Mordekaiser, giving them a little bit of time. Mid super low, getting taken down. And this Mordekaiser grabbing to the Shadow Realm. Shen trying to 1v1, trying to help his team, does grab the shield for it, but unfortunately paying it with his life ultimately towards top.
I think Raijin might be a little bit tilted. Raijin looked for the ultimate there onto the Kai'Sa, but Geyser used their Death Realm to make sure that the Shen ultimate wouldn't go anywhere. That's like a second counter pick into yourself. That if Shen ever tries to ultimate, I just cut you there for a second. If Shen ever tries to ultimate in and Mordekaiser's anywhere in range, that channel is really long. You can just walk up and ult him. It looks like Geyser did have to flash to get that ultimate off, but yeah, preventing Raijin from, you know, being any impact on that bottom lane fight. If he had gotten through, then the Kalista wouldn't have picked up that one kill onto Kai'Sa.
Yeah, Mint was diving towards that back line too, just ready for that Shen to kind of come in and start really kind of cleaning up. Unfortunately, it never happened. Backup was signaled, but nobody answered the door.
Yeah, it's a 4,500 gold lead, closing in on 5K here now. It's 16 minutes in. We've officially passed the Mad Lions loss point, so we've got that going for ourselves. Syndicate proving that they are not worse than EU, but yeah, we'll have to see how this game plays out, because at the end of the day, anyone can lose this one. This game is still throwable. At like a Baron, you throw a Baron and Syndicate can come right back into this one, technically.
Yeah, it's just how this mid game now is going to transition. Excuse me there, and Kalista trying to poke out a little bit, trying to figure out who she can take down before this Dragon officially comes up. Scuttle going over here. Swain trying to grab a little bit of vision. Dragon popping up here in 5 seconds, or Dragon, or Mountain Dragon per se, and a little bit more of a tankiness for the team that they don't want here. We'll see if Sejuani ends up going towards the mid. Looks like everyone's kind of going in here. Flank Drake by the J4, getting caught out there. Sejuani towards the backside. Gage is not going to be happening here towards everyone. That's going to be going in here. Ultimate or Nautilus going down, trying to get out of there. Unfortunately, doesn't get picked out. Sejuani walking away with a pretty low blinking health bar here.
And doesn't have the ultimate
there too. It's kind of their Dragon to lose.
Yep. Syndicate just really need to turtle. They have the capacity to do so. Corki offers a lot of wave clear. Kai'Sa has a fair amount as well, so you can kind of wave clear 2 lanes with some ease, but the problem is Baron is going to be spawning in 2 minutes, and with this Herald being popped, which is most likely going to be the end of this mid lane outer tower, it's going to be very difficult to contest.
Case a party and a half there with all the grubs just rampaging around. That is a giant mosh pit of minions that you do not want to be in the center of. A second burst getting stopped there. Good job by them to not lose more tower.
Corki has the package. If they can look for an angle, they are looking to try to poke it down. As
yeah, that malignant by Corki trying to push down. Unfortunately, not finding the Nautilus hook, stopping it in its tracks.
I don't know why you pick up the package here. There isn't really much to fight over. You're not going to have package for the first few minutes of Baron. They're just going to use it to try to get some... Oh, that's actually a lot of damage onto Mord.
A lot of damage. A lot of burn going down to Kai'Sa. Towards the backside, grabs the shutdown. 600 gold over tower. Taking right now on Shen, so he's going to be able to survive a little bit, but unfortunately not enough as Cassiopeia picks up the kill. But the damage here by Okami is just really shining through those ultimates of rockets.
That is a nice pickup there, though. Mint gets that kill plus a big shutdown. That was, I think, a 600 gold shutdown.
Yes.
That Mint picked up there. So that's close to 1,000 gold into the pocket. And that's a 0 and 6 Shen that you killed. The amount of gold you get from taking a 0 and 6 Shen down to 0 and 7 is basically nothing. So I think you take that. I think you definitely take that gold.
Yeah, good trade back here. A couple of pings going on towards Baron side. Kalista not there yet. It's just going to be sweeping out the vision. Nautilus having to go back, picking up some more vision of his own too. Is there a threat of a 20-minute Baron, do you believe?
I don't think so, especially because of how much damage Corki can put out at range with that package and the Kaisa as well, being able to throw W's over. They might look for it though. Now remember, they threw the game away at game 1 at the Baron pit, going for that early Baron, and they could throw it away here as well. So you need to be careful. Mordekaiser really doesn't have much threat if he has to go over the to the backside of the wall all by himself. So you got to play this out right. You got to play it out patiently. You have a big lead for yourself. You don't want to throw it away going for something too aggressive.
Yeah, and right now they're just waiting for someone to get a little bit of vision. Nihilus is that person. Flag Drake going over to the support.
Here's the fight.
Backside J4 still hitting home, looking for that close as well. Nihilus will be going down. TP being used. Shen going over the wall, trying to escape here. So a 1-for-0 at the end of the day. See if they end up starring Baron. They will see it because of the wards here. Corki though on that other side.
Corki is over there. Can throw down quite a bit of poke.
Yeah, she's through the Mordekaiser, grabbing everything up. They're gonna release the Baron here, looking for another fight. Corki being the one that has to jump over, not being hit. Unfortunately, a little bit of too long of range of that ult from it. Double kill from the Mord, picking those up. We'll see if he ends up grabbing 3, but they just might wait in the wings here again, as they know someone might get a little too greedy here and pop over the side. They are just gonna back 9-0 and 1 for the Mordekaiser.
Yeah, I don't think they needed to back there either. The only poke you have to deal with is a Kaisa, and she doesn't even have much AP quite yet. So, it's not really any poke to worry about. No smite either for Soccer 25, considering that they were dead, as Mint ulted inside the Cataclysm.
Yeah, Flash going down from the J4. Flag drag over, picking up that kill now. Shen already used the TP, does have the Stand United ult available for him. They're going to walk over the ward, so they are going to see what's going on here. Nautilus trying to grab a little bit of vision. Baron going down.
Walker's going to be here.
Corki towards the backside. No package, but still.
Soccer! Oh, the Corki!
End up getting claimed with the smite and the Corki rocket being used. They will sack him and say, thanks a lot for leashing us that Baron.
Corki got the steal. There was both junglers up. Painless did not even use the smite. Okami, it was so critical in that game 1 with the Orianna, and here in game 2 as well. Okami says, watch this. Oh, careful, Geyser. Raijin, rather. You're going to get chased down here and ulted, most likely. Yeah, the whole team's running down. Raijin, know what you're doing, buddy.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of ways to get out of here unless you do something pretty miraculous here. Swain getting picked out a little bit, but the Kaisa able to drag him back in. Stand United being used on the Nautilus, not going to fully go through, as he does end up losing your Cassiopeia. Good job of sticking forward here with that. Corki being the next target here, already used the getaway, and unfortunately the Cataclysm just a little too much. Dragon being taken by the Mordekaiser solo as everyone else here starts to take those turrets.
Yep, it looked good there, but they just got a little bit too hypey with that Baron steal, and I think a little bit uncoordinated as well. And they got caught pushing forward in multiple lanes. They didn't take the time to set up their lanes correctly to do the push, especially considering how far behind they were. So you just need to be a bit more patient. Take your Baron, reset, kind of regroup and figure out what you want to do. You have time to do that. You have the Corki scaling. You have that AP Kaisa that's getting closer to 3 items, which is when she starts to come online. And you just need to play the map smarter, Raijin. Be careful. Goodbye, Shen.
Shen stepping up just a little too much, and that is another Baron off the table.
Raijin needs to be careful not to get too tilted. Here comes Okami, though, has the package available. I just used it onto the Swain here.
Yes.
Nope, it's just going to drop.
Dropping like flies here.
Yeah, they just need to play a little bit. Like, this game is, you can see how much damage this Corki is starting to do. Corki, once you reach level 16, is going to be a massive threat because this comp from Wooper is so short range. They really don't have a lot of threat onto the Corki. So Corki can really just, especially if you save your package, you can sit back. We got to peek bot side though. Because they're going to take another tower here. That's another shutdown. So they're going to close the gold gap here to within It's not back to a 3,000 gold difference, and Corki is closing in, is halfway to level 15. If they can sit back and let the Corki scale, they can actually turn this game around.
Yeah, there's nothing yet up for 3 minutes, so they're going to be happy to just kind of turtle in, grab the waves where they can, clear out the jungles, and really wait for that level 16, and then the game will be shifting even more on their side.
Yep, just give Corki as much solo XP as possible. Kaisa, walk away, let Corki take all that farm. Nope, they're going to send Corki bot side to kind of match up against Geyser, which should be probably fine. Ayrton might be in trouble here, though. Oh,
Yeah,
that was a nice pull.
Caught out here. Nautilus all trying to knock someone up here. Sejuani finding someone, won't get the 3 points, but unfortunately it's more of the disengage as they are going to have to walk away here. Corki and Mordekaiser still at the bot side, going back and forth, but the push here from the other side might be a little too much. Cassiopeia being able to just kind of turn down that turret while the other two start to roam up. J4 and Calista towards the backside. We'll see if they end up staying underneath this tower or they end up swimming away here.
Uh-oh.
J4 towards the backside. Shen's gonna be the next target here. Does land a taunt. Turret's gonna go down, unfortunately, so no backup that way. Calista all throwing that Swain in the middle of everyone. Does end up getting the Kaiser. She's trying to get away. Unfortunately, Stand United not enough to protect, and this could be game here.
The Corki?
Trying to find someone. Mordekaiser using the ult for the Corki. Corki trying his darndest to get it out of there, but there's not a lot of room to go when you're stuck in a very short bubble here. Sejuani the only one alive, and they're going to be running away. This should be inhibitor and the game, I believe.
Yep, no one's up for 20 seconds. It's just Sejuani who has no wave clear. It's 1v4. Good luck defending this one. I don't think you're going to be able to. That's going to be game 2, unless something goes massively wrong here. Yep, there's not going to be anything you can do about this one. Game 2 is going to go in favor of the Woopers, and we have a series for ourselves on our hands as they're going to tie it up here 1-1.
Great game coming out there. The Mordekaiser grabbing such a giant lead. And it's kind of really carrying that through. Corki doing a really good job. We saw towards that mid game, that crashing down and the AP that kind of came out of there. The Malignant's doing a really good job. Unfortunately, just not enough to capitalize this game.
Yeah, just needed to let the Corki scale a little bit more, and ultimately I think it really came down to, after they stole that Baron, just not playing that Baron steal correctly, going way too aggressively, splitting back across the map when at a deficit you need to group up and use that Baron as a team. They just threw away so much gold by giving away kill after kill after kill, giving up that Baron for free, that Dragon rather for free after that, and at that point Mordekaiser is allowed to just get back on a side lane and pick off those 1v1, 1v2 fights, and the game just slowly falls apart. Didn't help that Nautilus also went 0-8, kept getting caught in the jungle, kept getting pulled back by that Swain. So top lane went terribly wrong, bot lane went pretty wrong there as well, and Corki just was not given enough time to scale in this game.
Yeah, some unfortunate pain points there in the game. Hopefully they make some notes, make some adjustments here. We'll see what kind of adjustments they do end up making. Like I agree, as you said before earlier, the Mordekaiser needs to be banned, or you need to find an answer for it right in that first rotation. Waiting to the very end is not an option anymore.
Cannot ban, leave the Mordekaiser up for Geyser, as showing just how good they are on this champion. Just there's nothing you can do about it. So gotta ban that away. We'll have to see if they listen to the advice and do ban the Mordekaiser, or if they try to leave it up for Geyser in game 3. We're gonna have a short break before we get to that game. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's game 3 time, and why bother talking about it when we can jump right into it? And speaking of jumping right into it, the draft has kicked off, and we're ready for some game 3 draft action. We want to see a Mordekaiser ban, don't we?
It has to be done. There's either the Mordekaiser has to be banned, or you have to have something happen pre-level 6. You know, pick something early, grab a jungler up there, really nail it home, grit that Mordekaiser behind, because he's just running people ragged right now.
He really is, unless Syndicate want to first pick it for themselves. They're probably going to have to ban it here. Slot number 3. Ivor, excuse me, and Twitch still taken away. Zeri still taken away. And there is the Mordekaiser hover.
Hopefully, I hope they do.
Waiting.
Don't do this to me. Just
Bam,
hit that lock. There we go.
Mordekaiser off the table.
Now who to play? Who are we going to see in that top lane dominate?
There's some stuff is available that wasn't banned before. They're going to take the Sejuani for themselves, B1, like they did in game 1, though, which means we should probably see from the Woopers. They pick up the Jarvan yet again, would be my guess. And then, I mean, they did R1, R2, the Mordekaiser, so we'll have to see if they take something else for themselves instead.
Yeah, time kind of ticking down here, and this is kind of the make or break point of the series. You get up 2-1, you feel comfortable going into game 3, you can really start to swing that momentum here. Wukong being hovered and officially locked in as times go down, so great pick there.
Wukong is an interesting one because of that extended range that he got on the Q. It makes him viable top lane as well. So this could be a top lane pick, but they're hovering Aatrox, and that's going to be locked in, so it will not be a Wukong top. I was excited for a second. Wukong jungle and Aatrox top lane.
They still could do something wild like Aatrox, or not Aatrox, Wukong mid. There's always spots to go around, but I think you're right in thinking the Wukong here for the jungle. So we'll see what Syndicate ends up picking as the response here. Top lane being picked out early once again. No mid being shown. Malphite being hovered here as the answer.
Now, I'm a Malphite 8 full AP connoisseur, so let me break this down. Into Aatrox, Malphite can work very well full AP because you walk up, you have to sidestep the first Q, and then you throw your own Q out, and you get the movement speed, which allows you to just run really fast. Sylas going to be the third pick that's been banned away the last 2 games. I just want to make note of that. This could be an AP Malphite angle. Probably not, though, because Sylas has so much value here, by the way. Can steal the Sejuani ult, can steal the Malphite ult. This is a really good Sylas angle. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, even the Vars ult being coming out there, you can really kind of bind everyone up. But the Wombo combo that I'm seeing, Sejuani grabs one, Malphite grabs one, Vars grabs one. This is going to be a really heavy towards that team fight whenever you pick that up. But that Sylas, as you mentioned, has been banned, and we'll see if it's for good reason here come game 3 and see if he really starts to roam, grab those ults, and utilizes that kit here. So bans away here. Orianna, Braum, we've seen both of those played here. We'll see what they end up banning towards the last.
Would not be surprised to see Corki maybe taken off the table. It will be the Nico ban. Interesting.
Might have problems, trying to figure out which minions are where, and hate to see her pop out of nowhere.
Yep, Nico is the takeaway, which means technically you're banning every champion because Nico can be whoever Nico wants to be, because Nico does not refer to himself as a pronoun. Nico speaks in third person. So Nico is not he, she, they, or anything else. Nico is Nico. So Vayne is going to be the pickup here, just slamming the Vayne in the bot lane. That's going to be a fun one. That's a pick.
That is a pick and a half here. If you start rumbling early with the Vayne and she starts getting those trades, it's gonna spell for disaster. But when you said Nico and being able to do everything, all I could think about was an Eminem of I am whatever I say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? Just across the board can be anything here. Maokai being hovered, but the Samira will be locked in. A nice little wind wall around her for the abilities too. Getting that S as the build up momentum and the fight goes down. Maokai being hovered here, maybe for the last pick. This is a scary team comp though, and this might be a Varus mid then, if I'm reading this right.
It could be. It could be that weird Varus top lane, and we have Malphite mid. I don't like that. It is a very volatile mid lane. I have played Malphite into Sylas, and I am Emerald, and so I know this matchup pretty well. It can go either way. It depends entirely on the junglers. But yeah, it's
I play Varus mid, so I have to
It could be
vouch for
Varus
that
mid.
and say you can do a really good job of standing back in lane. You have the Q to poke. If the jungler does come in, you just alt kind of bind them up there. And with that CC with Sejuani, but Janna, great pick for that disengage here. Malphite goes in, Sejuani, whoever else, she's just going to push them away, start healing, grabbing the exhaust probably, and just, zooming everyone away. So kind of a late game scaling for the Woopers here. As you see, the Vayne, Sylas, and Aatrox towards that late game can be monstrous, as well as that Wukong ult kind of popping out twice and grabbing everyone. But this all-in effect I'm seeing from Syndicate, the Malphite, the Sejuani, the Malguy, that can really kind of lock you down and stick you. So we'll see what ends up happening.
I want to see Syndicate win this one. They have all the priority in the world, and so I like it when these really aggressive team comps come out, and I like to see them succeed. So I want Syndicate to win this one. You've got the Malphite, the Sejuani. And now here's the interesting thing. You've got the Sylas over for the Woopers. And it's like, yeah, there's a ton of good ults you can take. You can take the Maokai ult. You can take the Malphite ult. You can take the Sedge ult. You can even take the Varus ult. That's still a good one. Samira ult is not quite so good for you, but the point is, if you give over one good ultimate to Sylas in your comp, you might as well give him 5 because he can only take one at a time. Who cares if he's got a bunch of good ultimates he can steal? He can only use one of them. So it doesn't really matter that they've picked Maokai into the Sylas. It's just he can pick and choose, and it actually kind of makes it more difficult for him because now he has to figure out which ultimate is even the correct one to take now because they're all good. So
yeah,
it's kind of an interesting draft here.
Yeah, how he's going to use it too. He could grab a Varus and be a little bit more defensive with it. The Malphite to be aggressive here, and we'll have to take a look at his timers too, so he's not grabbing the same one over and over. And if he is, he's has to wait for that cooldown. So, who are you liking for Game 3 here? Are you going to stick with that Syndicate,
I'm sticking with Syndicate. I want to see it win, and I'm putting all my eggs in the Syndicate basket for this one.
If it is Varus mid, I will go with you towards Syndicate. But if I don't see my Varus mid, unfortunately, I'm going to have to flip-flop over to the Woopers here.
Fair enough. All right, we've got our predictions and stuff locked in. Let's go on a short break while we wait for the spectator delay and for them to go through their own champ select and get loaded onto the Rift. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back shortly.
Summoner's Rift.
Here we go. Gitano can be happy. It's a Varus mid lane.
It
They all
is.
fight
I'm
top lane.
ecstatic.
We'll have to see how this switcheroo works out because they picked the Vayne, expecting it to be the Varus, but it's the Samira. And Samira, as far as I remember, does pretty well against the Vayne, especially because they have that all-in threat from a Maokai there as well. So it's going to be difficult for Vayne and Janna to navigate this early level. Once you hit level 6, you can ult them away if they all in, but that ult is a pretty long cooldown. And Mint and Ayrton can look pretty aggressively on that Samira Maokai matchup bot side. I'm excited to see how that one pans out, but mid lane is the spicy one. Varus versus Sylas is not something I had on my bingo card for this series whatsoever.
Yeah, I can't imagine anyone grab that bingo card with the Varus Sylas mid lane. So as Varus stays towards that outside and doesn't get engaged on towards the Sylas, he's got a great lane, but unfortunately Sylas really just can get in there and hammer away at you, and you're kind of that immobile mid as well, so you're very susceptible of Wukong coming around towards the backside, or even if Janna wants to come around and fire a tornado, you know, from the side, that if that lands, it does spell disaster.
Nice little trade there for Okami. Now, Okami has had some very nice games today, and is looking to continue that trend with the range versus melee matchup, kind of playing the range out very nicely. Playing around that Hail of Blades very well as well. It's going to hit level 2 first to get that W passive going so that your abilities do more damage. I'm curious what build he's going to go for, though.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to grab, you know, Manamune, try to grab a little bit more of that poke for the Q-wise, or if he's going on hit. If it is the AP, rate 2, I've seen those pop out, so I'm curious to see. I'm sure we'll see in the first back kind of what he's going with.
The Hail of Blades makes me think it's probably AD, but it could be the AP just because Hail of Blades allows you to stack up for that AP chunk. Their bot lane is in favor of the Samira and Maokai, no surprise. They just have so much more wave clear. And top lane Maokai is throwing up the thumbs up and being chilling up there on this rocky boy.
Yeah, soon he'll be the unstoppable force, I'm saying. But that Varus being able to just poke it out and really heal block too with that kit, so see what ends up happening. Malphite, giant wave up here for him. We won't dictate or say what minions he does or does not get, because at the end of the day we'll see how many else he hits. That's what's most important. Ooh,
You got a
Varus,
few of them.
great job of poking in and out here towards that mid lane and really pressuring out Sylas right now down to
Watch
about
for the flash Maokai. The flash,
50.
watch for Maokai flash. You can bait
Yeah,
him.
definitely.
That's a flash angle. If you can get
Twist.
twisted advance, I want to see it.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
lining
they're
it up
looping
here.
around. Yep, here he comes.
Good job.
That's gonna be it. Oh no, Okami flashed.
Flash. Trying to get over. Unfortunately, yes, first blood going over. Ignite going down. Varus trying to get out of there. Here, TP being used by the Sylas to get back in the fight. Janna towards the side, just trying to make sure everyone is safe, but a good pickup for the kill there. Maokai grabbing it, but Varus grabbing the assist.
Yeah, it's mid lane is just, it's going really well. It's unfortunate that this Maokai picked up the kill, but it's good for them because, like we were talking about, Vayne thought it was the Varus AD carry, so they feel safe to pick the Vayne R4, and then they throw in that little like switcheroo on them by locking in the Samira Maokai for their 4th and 5th picks, which tells the Vayne like, oh no, what are we gonna do? And now Maokai gets a successful roam off, and bot lane is off to the races for Mint and Maokai, because Maokai's going to have first blood. That's going to be a lot more like scaling towards their first item, which means you're going to be a little bit stronger in that bot lane matchup, and a little bit tankier to frontline for the Samira, which is good for them.
Yeah. So it's Varus picking up that call, really kind of going for more of that, not early game start here. Also the dagger, a little more attack speed going on here. Good roam by the Maokai. We'll see what ends up happening. Dragon spawning, no one dancing towards that just yet either. Those Janna tornadoes, since they made the change of how quickly and how long they go, it's been a nuisance here.
I don't know if I like Varus going for that Cull. I think maybe a tier would have been a little bit better just to sit back and scale and get that mana really leveled up. So got the cannon. That's good. And here comes Malphite trading back. Has ultimate. Now there's a bunch of really fun builds you can go on Malphite that are a lot of fun to do. Malphite's going to ult away. Yep, goodbye.
Yep.
But one of my favorite ones is where you go first strike and you just ult the enemy top laner on cooldown, or the enemy mid lane if you're playing a mid. Whenever you have ultimate up, you just ult them and you get the kill. You don't get the kill necessarily, but you completely zone them off because you chunk them for most of their health. You just hit the R key and have a good time with it. So, and you get a bunch of first strike gold. You build up for Malignant, and you just keep doing that again and again and again. I saw in Korea that there's a guy who hit Grandmaster playing that strategy mid lane where he would go Flash and Ghost. So he would he would go teleport Ghost. So after his first recall, he'd teleport back in, then go for his trade, then come back and Ghost back to lane to keep catching XP. Ishan is in trouble.
Oh yeah, ult going down, trading back and forth here, but there's too much for the teammates there. Does knock him back into Varus, but Varus has no problem here picking up the kill. And this is the start you want to see if you are Okami.
That was close. Almost Maokai stealing another kill away with the Ignite, but Okami gets that last auto attack in there, and it's a kill for the Varus. So Sylas has been picked on pretty heavily in the early game. It's 1,000 gold lead over to a Syndicate here as well. Ayrton has just had the roam timers on 6-a-lay. So Janna needs to step it up a little bit. It's a 10 CS lead for the Samira as well. That's probably what's causing it, because they can just push out so much quicker, and that allows Maokai to have the roam. But you need to be calling these things. If you're getting pushed out, if you're getting pushed in and Maokai is missing, you cannot be letting your Sylas push forward like that. Sylas got caught way forward in the lane when they had no vision. And so you need to tell the Sylas, chill out, step back. You can afford to sack 1 or 2 farm, because 1 or 2 farm is nothing compared to giving over a kill to Okami.
Correct. And yeah, you gotta warn your jungler, hey, more deep, let's go to the entrance of the jungles, just so we know where he's going at. It's almost like, you know, those junglers that can kind of come out of nowhere, like that Nocturne. You know, you gotta ward deep to know where he is, and that vision is so key. Knowledge is power in this game, especially early on, knowing where that jungler is.
Yep, you gotta keep an eye on these junglers. Wukong has really done nothing this game so far, but does have the ultimate available now. So he's going to be able to have a bit more, you know, utility and useful in these ganks whenever they want to look for them. Malphite is just happy to get that Bomby's Cinder. So it will not be an AP Malphite, unfortunately, is what it is.
But maybe an AP mid. We do see the Fiendish Codex and the bow coming out here. So this could be an AP Varus mid here.
I think it is. He's going to go for the Nashor's Tooth early, I believe.
Yep.
And then, because you've got a lot of AD from the Samira, you really want Samira to be your only source of AD, just so that you can just get as much damage with that ultimate as possible and try to get as many resets as possible. Having as little armor on the enemy team, the more armor that they don't have, the better it is for Samira. So
interesting call here. Yeah, Dragon going over. Nothing too crazy on Ocean going the next, so we might see a Fire Dragon for the last, and that would cause for a little bit of trouble, as the damage on that might be a little much, or the Chemtech Dragon as well.
Yep. I hope it's a good dragon. I hope it's not a boring.
It will be. We just gotta think positive. Positive thoughts.
Very true. Mint is having a nice game, though. Is up nearly 20 CS at this point over the Vayne. So, and that's considering how much time Ayrton has spent roaming. It's just really nice for Mint here. Ooh, that's a nice little wind wall thing. Mint is going in a little bit. Final hour is popped by more. This is trouble. And
The ult and a pause there. Not sure what was going on. Janna there trying to save a little bit. Does have the ult. Doesn't pull the trigger though. And you have to question kind of what happened there as they were mid-fight and then a pause broke out.
And here's the freeze from that pause. This is not the client crashing. This is just the freeze.
It will return. We have
So
Vayne
whenever we're spectating, it'll almost instantly like cleanse out of it, and then we get the delay from the pause. It must have been just a short pause. It's not an instant unpause. It's the pause comes out here a little bit later. So we had that 10-15 seconds of delay. That was the actual pause right there.
That would make sense. I was like, oh god, I hope they didn't pause and then unpause right away and then 1v1 happened. But Vision Ward going down, Ed and Eddie spawn up here. We'll see who ends up taking that here. Malphite getting dragged back. Wukong looking on the wings here. Does have ult available. They will just keep going here. Varus towards the backside of the fight. Silas also waiting in the wings. They could look to pinch here as Janna has roamed over, but it might be a too late. Here, Malphite going in, ulting to the unstoppable for Sejuani as well, finding another Wukong, having to ult out of there. Aatrox sticking towards the fight here, trying to run away. Does grab the ult, does find one, looking for two, does not grab the Malphite. Maokai though going down here. Boy Grubs trying to chase down that Varus, doesn't have the damage, and the last one will be going over.
That was just too aggressive from Syndicate. They just stepped too far forward. You can't be playing that aggressively. You don't have vision, and they just over push for it and get caught out. Big ultimate steal there from the Silas, and they get 2 kills back. That's just a big mistake. You can't be stepping forward like that.
Yeah, you have the advantage. You gotta take what you can, but also don't step too far forward there, as we just saw. Lichbane being complete here from the Silas, so those burst attacks are going to be what we're going to be looking at here. No completed yet for the Varus as he's sitting probably just a few hundred away from cleaning that Vayne rumbling forward, but that Samira wind wall has to be annoying here, especially on that cooldown of trying to get away from that third proc. Sejuani also towards the bot side here might be looking for something to happen.
Outcry ultimate, there we go. There's the flash.
Yep, going in there. Janna all trying to peel away everyone. Vayne doing a good job of kind of tucking and rolling away from her. Janna gonna get popped out though for the freeze, but even with no mana, does go away. Silas towards the bot side, does grab the ult. Roots going down, does find one. Grabbing 2 for that as well. Vayne and Silas picking up the kill.
And again, they just played too aggressively. They got so many cooldowns out of the Vayne and the Janna, and they pushed too far forward. And Silas is allowed to get down there and secure 2 more kills. That's just, you can't be this over aggressive. You need to play around your priorities correctly, and they're just not doing it.
Yeah, they're doing a good job mid there in the beginning of the game, but now it's starting to falter as they move towards the bot side without proper vision and end up getting punished for it. Varus ult going down, picking up the Silas. Great shutdown, 450 gold towards that. Great use of the ult, knowing that he already used it bottom 2. Nothing to really do with that after he dashed as well, so great job mid lane.
Okami is just having another nice game here. 2-0-1 on this AP Varus mid lane. Just real spicy, and I hope it works out. It's working out so far, though, I will say, and is doubling down on the AP. So it's going to be for sure the AP Varus mid lane, which is beyond spicy. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. The tooth coming out there and really gonna doing some damage here. We saw the Q proc on that, and the ratios are very heavy in that AP if you go that route. So it's gonna be great to look here. Sejuani waiting in the wings. Wukong though coming down there. Janna is the point of target here. TP being used towards spot lane. Samira does end up getting 1 here. 2 for the double kill. Trying to run away from the Aatrox and the Silas. Trying to go over to the side. Does grab another ult, but unfortunately it's not enough. Meanwhile, Vayne towards the backside tries to tuck and roll away. Unfortunately, not going to be able to. Malphite grabbing that shutdown there, and Silas running away. Does have that Malphite ult though in his kit.
This is just This is gameplay. That's all I'm gonna say about it. This is we're playing League of Legends, and we're playing League of Legends. Dragon 2 is going to most likely be secured here. Wukong just kill coming out of the base. Soccer is here. Malphite ult used by the Sylas though. Okami's in trouble.
Looking for a fight. Janna being able to spread everyone away with that, grabbing and healing out. A couple of blast plants being used as well. Maokai towards the end here. Bars ended up going down from the Aatrox. Sylas picking up 2, and the Dragon will be picked up by Wukong as he has enough time for running from base all the way down and smite steal.
Just disrespectful gameplay, just all across the board. Maokai, I'm misspeaking here like crazy. Sylas has the Malphite ult, and they just cluster right up in the Dragon Pit. Like, you know that the team is on the way, and they decide to go for it anyways after burning all of their ultimates. You have to sit back and at least get some vision. And if you see the Sylas reset as well, and you see the rest of the team reset, and you know that for a fact, that's when you can steal away a second dragon for yourself. But if you don't confirm that, you can't go for that aggressive of a play. They look to try to cheese that one out. Ishan is smart to their little aggressive play and punishes them hard for it. Now I have to remember, Painless is hiding out there behind those bushes, so Mint needs to be careful.
Yeah, good job roaming down there, and we see the advantage from that fight now. 3-0 and 4 for that Aatrox. 4, 3, and 5 for the melee with another needlessly large rod. Maokai all being used here from Sylas. Sylas going in, grabbing up the kill. And that, once again, just being a little overzealous here. Hopefully in the mid lane they can trade a little bit for as Sejuani and Vars start to push, and Samira is really trying to stay safe here towards the back. As she steps forward at all, that could spell disaster. Sejuani gotta up here and shut down 600 for that.
Here's Geyser though.
Trying to find the Aatrox, does end up grabbing the Vars, pulling them back. Samira trying not to get caught out. Wukong flash and ulting, grabbing one knockup. Here's the second one. Vayne looking for the attack, but Wukong will get that. And now that Vayne 3, 1, and 2 scaling up there does have the Blade of the Rune King already trying to pop.
Oh, no.
That for the Wukong does make the great escape, and he is out of there.
This game is just falling apart for Syndicate. They were doing so well too, it hurts to see, but this over-aggression again and again and again. You have you have all these go buttons, but you need to use them smartly. And they're just kind of doing them on cooldown solo queue mode and flipping every single fight without properly setting up vision, without properly setting up your advantages. And it's just going wrong for them again and again and again. Aatrox has been having some nice roams toward mid lane, and Malphite has been basically a non-factor in this game. So it's just unfortunate how this game has played out, because the early game looked so good for Syndicate, but it's all gone wrong here at about the mid game.
Yeah, a lot of rinse and repeating here, and definitely on the champs that you don't want to do that. This Aatrox, it will become a major problem here. Collecting now boots too, as well as that serrated Dirk, and he is just going to be cleaving through everyone that he sees here. Rift Herald, we'll see if they end up trying to take that before the Baron spawns, or if they're just going to go mid here. Try to take
Vayne
does condemn the Vars against the wall, and Vayne has enough items here where she might get the kill and get out safely. Janna is there to help just in case, and you do not want to see that. Again, Malphite ult grabbing to Janna though, pushing him away just as fast as he goes in here. That's got to be a little comforting to see.
Yeah, Malphite is okay right now, but just it doesn't do any damage. If you're looking for that sort of an angle for your ultimate, you need to be an AP Malphite, because then you can shut down 2 people right away. But it's just, the Woopers are just too far ahead at this point. It's a 4,000 gold lead, and the Vayne is going to scale out of control. Sylas has 5 kills. Aatrox is 4-0. Geyser having another impeccable top lane performance. And yeah, the Janna ult was just so big by Sixela, just playing out these engages and these counter, I guess the peel, I guess would be the correct word, playing it out so well.
Yeah, Janna 0, 1, and 12 really utilizing those ults to their full extent here, even if it's just a quick pop away, giving that Vayne a little bit of space here. And it's difficult to watch this here. 30 seconds for the Dragon. We'll see if this is a team fight that might tip back into their favor, or
if someone's going to get cut out here. Silas going back just before getting spotted out before anyone here does pick up
And
another item here. Mint being able to use that wind ball correctly and grab everyone off target with the tornado here, but they don't see that they are on vision. They should have some sign of it as Malphite goes all the way in. Wombo combo being used here directly. Wukong getting shut down. Maokai being the next one here to fall, as well as a double kill picked up from the Silas. Sejuani trying to get towards the backline, but unfortunately there's just too much in front of him. Aatrox picks up the double and bars. There's nowhere to go here. Janelle being used, unfortunately not enough as there's a trade, but a triple kill for that Aatrox, and now 7-0 and 6.
Dixla kind of trolled there and got Ishan killed by knocking Varus right into the Silas, allowing that Q and that extra damage to go over for free. That does mean the Silas does die, but yeah, going for a fun little play there to flash ult to knock somebody off insect style. Dragon 3 is going to be taken there by Geyser, and this Aatrox is 7-0 and 6. It was a good look there from Ayrton flanking around on the Maokai, but they just don't have enough damage, and they can't win the fight. Okami wasn't really there either, and the big steal from Ishan with that Maokai ult in return just zoned off both of those damage carries for so long that it was just, by the time that Okami and Mint could really get into the fight was already halfway lost.
Yeah, it was a great try, but you're just too far behind, and there's too many assets now on that other side. And I think now the game is really going to start to either slip away from them, or they're going to have to be patient, find out a pick that can really start to get them back in, but I just don't know if that is going to be happening here. Rift here being used towards the mid lane. Wukong chasing it as well. Might try to grab towards mid and just kind of ramp that down here.
Yeah, hop in and run it down mid. Do it, Wukong. Come on. Nope, it's not gonna happen.
But Baron,
they're going for a Baron right away.
Vision Ward going down. They have enough damage with the 3-5 from the Vayne, having the Blade Everything and Rage Blade as well. That is going to be chunking it down very quickly. Wukong being able to tank this up. We'll see if they end up healing off of it here. It's towards the side that Malphite all being stolen here away from Silas. They do end up getting off the Baron. Sejuani being looked at, but towards the backside here, Silas.
This is a throw.
Getting shut down by the Samira. Samira going in, trying to get a couple of resets. Triple kill now, going for the 4th. Ends up getting the quadra kill. They will not be chasing for the penta, but what a team fight there, and a great comeback.
That was all because Mint was aware of what Ishan was doing, saw that Silas roaming around with the Malphite, and flashes out of it. That means Mint gets to stay there completely full health. Painless is looking to try to get in there, but the Sejuani is going to say no. Raijin, be careful, you're low on health. Baron is going to go down, though, and that is a huge throw. That's the second throw, actually, on Baron in this series, and Syndicate are right back into this game, and the goal is legitimately even.
Yeah, I think they need to stay away from that 20 to 25 minute Baron. They keep on trying to press the attack on it while they have the advantage, but it's not a true advantage. It's more of a bait, and they end up, unfortunately, reversing the trap on them. So, great awareness by Mint.
Samira got so much gold there, too. She's going to be incredibly strong at this point. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, good God. Collector, IE, and the Lord Dominic's as well. It's a lot of gold swinging back that way. And now it is just about even, I believe. Just a little, maybe a little over 200 difference.
Which at this point in the game means absolutely nothing. So we're back to an even game state. The only thing in favor of the Woopers is that extra dragon they've taken. Now, Woopers have taken 3 towers to Syndicate's 1. So there's a lot of standing gold for Syndicate to go and pick up if they can push out their lanes. I'd love to see if they can push out mid or maybe get a push going top. Because I want to see them use this Baron to try to group together and take some gold for themselves, because there's a lot standing. That mid lane tower is close to dropping as well. So Ayrton, you need to stop roaming around like this. Group up with your team and actually use your ultimate to get that tower.
Yeah. So we'll see what ends up happening here. Objective next, a little over 125 now. Getting less and less for the Dragon. Good boards being set up for that as well. Malphite just needs to back or get kind of an early TP to once again set up that good wombo combo here. We'll see if Mint is able to stay back and also pressure as well.
Yep, they are finally getting that wave to crash mid lane, so they can step up and take that tower. Thank you, Samira, for thumping that. Dragon going to be spawning in 50 seconds, and so Syndicate, I think, are going to be happy with their steal and picking up that tower and start resetting to get vision, to get items purchased, and start setting up for Dragon, because you don't want to give over soul point to the Woopers here right now.
Yeah, that would be a full swing back in the pendulum that you don't want to see. So 30 seconds left here. We'll see what kind of team fight transpires. That's just you want to be in a great job for the engage and kind of soaking that up, as well as the Malphite here. So everyone's kind of crowding around. Varus off in the wings. We'll see if he ends up deciding to join. Does Wukong clearing the vision here. Janna Tornado grabbing 3 points as well for those with the Fantasy League, right down the middle.
Syndicate need to be playing around that mid lane wave better. They're going to lose a tower for basically nothing because they're hovering around this bush on the bottom side of their dragon for no reason really whatsoever. Raijin has a nice angle to flank around though. Yeah, Raijin's completely around to the back without any vision. They don't know he's over there. This is a big Malphite angle here.
Yeah,
there it is!
From the side of Sejuani. Great fight going down here, picking up one with the Sejuani already. Team fight going on. Wukong towards the middle of everyone. Shut down by Silas. Janna trying to save everyone. Does end up healing quite a bit there. Unfortunately, Malphite falling support and double kill for Silas. The team fight going so well to so poorly there as health bars get down less than a couple of hundred, and they might be pushing here for the end possibly.
I think they're not going to have quite enough time. They only have half of a wave, so they might be able to hold it, but we'll have to see. It is 27 minutes in. Ayrton is spawning up in 5, and AD carry and jungler are both up in 10. We'll have to see if they can do it. There's a new wave spawning as well, and Sixela is really low. Let's see if Maokai can hold it.
Yeah, it goes in Twisted Advance, trying to grab someone
Amir's
out.
here.
Unfortunately, just not enough damage. Here comes the Sejuani, trying to get them off, but there's just too much damage for the Aatrox on the other side. What a push for the end there, all back off of that dragon fight.
Yep, they win one fight there, and they run it down mid, and just with a few seconds to spare, they take game 2, and another game that flipped back and forth quite a bit, that was all over the place. Woopers are up 2-1 in the series, so game point for them, match point for them, series point for them, I guess I should really say. Series point, and they're looking to advance forward into the semifinals. They've got a 2-1 lead over the Syndicate team. Anything stand out to you from that game?
I think it was just that Baron once again, that call of let's see if we can do it. We have the advantage. Vayne feels good, but it was a really heavy bait on their own side to do it. That really kind of gave the quadra kill over, and that pendulum swung a little too much. But then on the other side, you felt maybe a little too good at some points, and then Aatrox just really showing the strength.
It was a story of two Malphite ultimates doing the exact same thing. Silas stole one and ulted in onto non-prio champions and threw that Baron fight away. Then we come around the other side at Dragon, and Raijin on the Malphite ults in onto non-priority champions, and the fight gets thrown the other way. Just baited in again and again and again, back and forth. Samira never got above like 2 or 3 of her passive stacks in that final fight either. So they played, Samira just wasn't able to quite fight in that last team fight there. Also, just shout out to Geyser, another really strong performance, 9-1-9 on that Aatrox.
Yeah, really just handily topside, being in those team fights and really getting in the meat of everything, as well as Janna too. Great tornadoes, great ult, great being a job disengaging for the Vayne to keep her alive.
Geyser has just been carrying game after game here. The Mordekaiser won that game 1v9, and here 28,000 damage in this game, almost 10k more than anyone else on the team. Geyser is a menace in this top lane, and we'll have to see what Geyser wants to pick up in game 4, and if they can pick up a series win for themselves and move forward into the semifinals. Game 4 will be coming shortly. We're gonna go to a quick break so we can get some water. Don't go anywhere. Game 4 action coming right after this break. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Game 4. We've had a very fun series so far, haven't we?
Yeah, lots of back and forth here. Great team fights happening, early action as well. It's not going to be one of those 50-minute games. A lot of games here around that 25-30 mark. You can really kind of tell who's got it, but there's been so many swings back and forth here that it's always a coin toss of what's going to happen.
I feel like whoever starts Baron at about 25 minutes throws the game. That's happened just about every game tonight, if not every game. So watch out for 25-minute Barons. Whatever you do, do not start them. Anyways, bans are coming out. Silas was taken away. That's kind of been pivoted back. Mordekaiser, interestingly, is available. So no Mordekaiser ban.
I think that might be a proud. Yes, we haven't seen the Ivor Twitch, Azel. Like, there's just. You gotta pick and choose what you're gonna be targeting. If that Mordekaiser goes through, I don't know what you're gonna do to answer it.
I really have no idea. They could also wait and just R3 the Mordekaiser and then ban 2 counters away from it. So there's a lot that the Woopers can do here. A Mumu first pick though is interesting. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, Shouts invade me early and really start to put the pressure on. But if you get towards that mid to late game, those ults can be devastating in the team fight. So we'll see what they end up going along with it here. Wukong being picked up towards that other side did a great job towards mid game, really giving the Woopers just a little bit of time as those knockups and kind of getting away. Mordekaiser, no stranger there for that pick. So
Yep, there it is.
Wondering what they are going to do to answer that officially.
Yeah, I don't know what they've got and cooked up in the kitchen. Maybe they've come up with some sort of counter pick. I don't even know what counters Mordekaiser. You can't even pick the Gangplank into it anymore because you can't orange your way out of it. Smolder is what is Syndicate cooking here?
A very late game batch where it's not going to all come together until the very end.
Is it an AP Smolder top lane? It could be the Smolder top lane into the Mordekaiser. I think that's what they're cooking.
It could be a definite answer. We'll see with their next couple of picks to see if that exactly is. If the recipe book calls for one giant batch of Smolder top lane to answer that. Xayah being hovered on the other side, and Willoughby picked a great job for that disengage, that ultimate as well. I've seen it used aggressively, but a really safe pick there coming out from the Wooper. So we'll see what they end up banning here as well.
I think you're wasting bans on Gwen. I feel very convinced this is a Smolder top lane to try to bully and beat up the Mordekaiser. Which is definitely a play when you're down 2-1 in a best of 5 in the playoffs, but we'll have to see if it works out for them. Xayah obviously is such a good pick here against an Ashe and an Amumu. You have so much self-peel. So that's going to be just makes the AD carry. You don't have to play for nearly as much peel anymore because Xayah can just peel herself away. And Mordekaiser and Wukong are probably going to be tanky enough considering Ashe and Smolder are very much the DPS type and not the burst type. So they're not going to be able to take too much advantage of this Amumu ultimate just yet because Amumu ultimate pairs best with burst. When you can lock somebody down and then burst them off of that. And when all your champions are more DPS centric, you just end up taking only a small chunk of their health away. Orianna, Nautilus, and Rakan are going to be the final bans off the table. And we'll have to see what pick 4 is. It's going to be the Thresh, it looks like.
Yeah, as you said that burst, you're thinking of like Eager, stuff that can really just, high skill cap ult, and then all of a sudden they're done. Not that, alright, we auto attack for 2 or 3 seconds and then only take, 25-50% of their health.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see what they end up picking here to officially see where the Smolder is going. I do like the Thresh pick though. Lantern, more safety, hooks if you can get on a proud target, but you also kind of lean now towards tankiness, which we see from the Galio, which will be going mid and crash down on top of that Amumu once he gets in towards the back line. And this could be the filler to unravel the mystery per se of what exactly is going on.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it could be anything could be going on here for Syndicate. This last pick, like you said, is going to expose it. Galio Amumu is a very nice synergy. Amumu can jump in and ult people, and then Galio hits that ult key right on top of it just to double down on the CC, and it's going to be a Seraphine lock. So I'm pretty sure we've got Smolder top, Galio mid, and an Ashe Seraphine bot lane. This is a spicy draft, and if I'm looking at this, I rotate Mordekaiser mid lane. And up against that Smolder, I lock in an AP Malphite. Easy peasy.
Yeah, something to really just take him down and really relax him.
Ari is a good pick too.
Shifting as well. You get one charm and the whole thing starts to unravel. Hook into charm. Mordekaiser takes away that person and that's instantly the fight. But it's, kind of the last play of the game here potentially. So you gotta not hold anything back, pull out all the stops, and we'll see if this officially is the answer, if there is lane swaps as well as you predicted.
Where is the damage from Syndicate though? I mean, when you get really late game, Smolder can, but you just got so much that Woopers can do there. The Ari charm, the Thresh hook, Mordekaiser can ult people in, Xayah can self peel, Wukong can go invisible and jump on top of you with that ultimate. It's going to be really, really difficult for Syndicate to pull a win off here because their team comp is so low damage. It's so built around extending fights super long and playing their CC and their disengage basically perfectly to allow Smolder and Ashe to do that damage. It's going to be very difficult for them. I think, in my opinion, Woopers are just going to win this game and run it over.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, if Syndicate even looks at the Baron, even takes a step towards the river at the 25-minute mark, I expect the FFs to be thrown out there. But late game Smolder, yes, the time bomb did get sent back a little bit for the timer. Tons of damage, but you also have to stay alive and kind of keep everyone playing around that. And the way these team fights are going, it's very high paced and you really got to make decisions on a snap.
Yep. Well, I'm trying to think about what the idea is for Syndicate, and you can never contest you can never be first to any objectives. Maybe you can contest it, but the problem is, Wukong can just jump in, Xayah can just throw out feathers, Ari can charm you on your way in, Thresh can hook you on your way in. It's just so difficult for them to play around any objectives whatsoever. So I think, just Wooper should they won draft big in this one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm thinking the only thing that Syndicate could do is kind of like a giant AoE stun, but Ashe in that comp just doesn't throw that out there. She can slow and utilize, you can grab the arrow, but she's not going to be taking from 0 to 100 anytime soon. And same thing with the Smolder. So maybe a couple of key pieces being rotated, this comp would have fit, but at the end of the day, we'll see if it works.
Now, Syndicate can win if the game reaches 75 minutes and Smolder has 850 stacks. At that point, Smolder just runs over the entire game, but we'll have to see if they can stall it out that long. Let's go to a quick break to wait for the lobby to get set up and built and go through the spectator delay. Don't go anywhere. We've got Game 4 with the spiciest draft of them yet coming up after this break. That music is a vibe, but you know what's even more of a vibe? League of Legends. Let's play game 4. That's a transition. All right, we're going into a 5-point, and that's about it. The Smolder is top lane. Seraphine is support. And outside of that, nothing too spicy going on yet in this game. Now, the concern top lane is that if the Mordekaiser can get on top of the Smolder, Smolder's going to have a really bad time. So you need to be really using your range perfectly topside to win this out. It's just going to be so difficult for Raijin.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah, it's one of the do or die moments and kind of the all in point here. Okami did a really good job of that Varus the last game versus the Silas, but in this now top laner, Raijin's got to do the same aspect here.
There's a spicy angle. We got to peek bot side because Seraphine might loop around here and get hooked up. We'll have to see if they do get hooked because they are in front of the wave. Oh no, Sixela. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, throws the hook, does land. Unfortunately, not quite the target you were looking for on it.
Just a bit unfortunate there.
Big unluck. But that mid lane here, Ahri chunking
Ahri
down.
is doing work.
Yeah, just the passive on the electrocute and the spirits that run around early. Those do a lot more damage than what most people realize.
Ahri is having a really nice level 1 there. Now it's level 2, so we'll have to see how it plays out. That's so much damage onto Okami. My goodness.
Yeah, proccing the electrocutes every time they are up really start to chunk down here, doing a good job of keeping the wave right in front of the turret, not being able to take too much of that CS in top lane. Level 2, nothing too crazy going on just yet, but that could all turn on a dime here. Mumu headed towards bottom. Wukong headed towards mid lane, it looks like here, but will be spotted out by that ward.
Topside Geyser's gonna have a bunch of prio with that push just because you have so much AoE. Painless just kind of swinging through mid lane looking for that bottom scuttle, which will be spawning in like 15 seconds. Or is it 30 seconds? I don't remember. Might be looking for an invade here.
Yeah, looking
Does see it.
The Amumu does spot out with the ward. Both of them know that they're there. We'll see who decides to go over here. Smite fight going down. Wukong winning that. Mumu trying to get out of there. Does bandage toss over. Trying to get out Seraphine as well. Hook does land. And Mumu getting first blood here. Trade going back for the AD. And now
That's double.
Flash having to be blown here.
Amumu picks up first blood, but that's double buffs over to Mordstrike on the Xayah here, which is going to be really big for this early laning phase. All that extra, mana, all that health regen, the slows, the burn. This bottom lane for the next couple minutes is going to be so heavily in favor of the Xayah and the Thresh. I don't want to see them back off. Keep pushing your advantages. Don't waste the Baron. Don't waste the red buff and the blue buff here. Stay up front. Oh, the hook. Oh, so close.
Yeah, unfortunately, going to be wasting a little bit of that advantage here on that. Mumu grabbing the first blood over, but ultimately grabbing the double up. But if they take their time and not able to get back to lane, it was kind of a waste.
Yep, they. Oh, I don't. Huh. First blood over to the Amumu. Zaya taking one up back. I don't know. I don't know what I favor in that one more because at the end of the day, Amumu is just a tank. So gold on you isn't super useful. Like, you know, having first blood gold at least, you'd much rather have that be on a carry. But nonetheless, Amumu is looking for an angle onto the Ahri, and Okami is trying to position Ishan. Here we go.
And Mumu looking for the vantage toss is going to find it here. Galio also falling up just out of range, grabbing one shot at the tower, now two, but not enough to stop him. That's a great gank there by Mumu. Happy birthday to me, and will help Galio pick up the kill.
This is exactly what Syndicate need to be doing here. They need to be using this Amumu very proactively, and so far it's worked out. That's a kill and an assist, handing over some gold to Okami on the Galio, which is going to be really nice up against that Ahri, which, by the way, Okami has about a 10 CS lead mid lane there as well. Bot lane, though, they just have so much prio with that push just because it's a Xayah. It's going to allow them to have whatever prio they want onto that dragon if Wukong wants to look down for it.
Yeah, speaking of that prio, they're looking towards that mid lane. They do decide to shove off of that now and going towards Scuttle.
Now, this early game is going pretty well for Syndicate, but I still think once levels, and that's kind of to be expected, they have the range advantage top side. Amumu is a bit more of a gankable, like gank-heavy jungler, but once we start hitting those level 6s and ultimates start being able to be used, especially from that jungler, and we start seeing some 5v5 team fights, Syndicate, you better play this. You better play these fights out pretty darn near perfectly if you want to win some 5v5s here on objectives.
Yeah, different songs might be sung at that point though, so we'll have to wait that 5 to 10 minutes to get to that point while we're doing the 5v5 team fights and everyone's kind of grouping around those objectives here. We'll see if they end up taking the late dragons. Dragons usually being the high point of contest right away and grabbing those, kind of getting that action going on here. Double buffs being left off there for the bot lane. Now Grub's being picked up as the rotations happen here. Mordekaiser, even CS, not a lot of advantage being taken by the range of the Smolder.
Yep. That's good for Geyser, because he's able to keep up. Okami is in trouble, though. Goodbye.
Yeah, play from Thresher.
That's a nice flash. The hook, sidestepped.
Yeah, unfortunately not able to find it. No charm going on either, so at the end of the day, a flash being thrown out. Good job from Okami getting out of there.
Yep, it's Galio's flash for Ishan's ultimate, which in the short term, Syndicate definitely come out on top of that because Ahri ultimate is worth more than a flash. But once Ahri ultimate is back up, it's back in favor of Woopers.
Yeah, Mordekaiser now towards the top side, using the ult on the Smolder. Smolder's got nowhere to go, and you do not want to have this happen this early.
No, you don't.
The Sheen, you go for aggression, but you give up the kill. And that is spell disaster early here.
Careful bot side.
Yeah,
Mumu's here.
In, does land. Mumu on the backside here. Not level 6 yet. Throwing out the Lantern Thresh. Just hoping something happens here. Zaya will be going down Wukong towards the side, but unfortunately nothing's going to be coming of it here. And this could be Dragon if they decide to rotate.
Yeah, Woopers are just playing a bit too aggressively. They need to make sure they have the vision. Prio, they might try to go all in for this. Nope, they did not. Okay, so either way, see if anything spicy does happen around this dragon. Nope, they'll probably just give it up. Wukong is hovering around though, and Ashe does not have ultimate. Seraphine does not have ultimate either. Wukong could legitimately go in and steal this.
Yeah, there's nothing really to stop him. Team is coming back too. Smite's not great.
There we go.
Just gonna take it, thread posture a little bit just in case something was gonna happen. Thresh is gonna get a vision ward for his active service there, but that is it.
Mordekaiser is hanging on that bush, waiting for the ultimate to be back up, and probably waiting for Ghost as well for good measure. Raijin has not picked up any further defensive stats. So it's not going to be... Geyser is just going to have an easier time, although he didn't pick up any damage either. Geyser is probably just going to wait, actually, until he gets that Rylai's and then look for another all-in. Sixela is topside, though. Here we go.
Yeah, Thresh going in towards it. Mid lane as well. A little bit of action going back and forth.
Oh,
Galio trying to get knocked up here. Looks like top lane is going to be set in action. Mumu doing the birthday surprise ult here. Cosplaying a little bit of Fiddlesticks. Will be getting the kill onto Ahri. Wukong picking up the Galio. And now a little bit of jungle action back and forth. But Amu is able to get back to the safety of the tower.
Yep, 1-for-1 trade mid lane. And the gold staying basically even. And we've got another pause. Woohoo!
Yeah, time for us to look at the end and reflect back. And it looks like Xayah completed the first item already, Kraken Slayer, for that mobility boots from the Thresh as well. Able to roam around, kind of assert his presence wherever he would like.
Yep, Xayah is having a nice early lane. Now we go for a couple seconds in the pause in 3, 2, 1. There it is. So now we have the pause. I have to see how long this pause actually went. It's probably going to be nothing more than a couple seconds as we get a nice zoom in on Smolder's adjusted face. Thank you, Twitter, for harassing the Riot devs to fix that because the old face looked rather horrendous. So we're happy that it worked out. It was the Sonic version 2 there for Smolder.
That was one thing that I was super happy about, that they took, you know, what the people said, like, hey, please change Sonic and we will go see this movie. If not, good luck. I don't think Jim Carrey's going to be able to carry that, but they listened, they adjusted, and I think it was well worth it.
And I'm glad that Ugly Sonic made it into a movie as well, which I thought was pretty funny. But yeah, top lane, Smolder is closing in on 75 stacks. So having a nice little set of farming so far, which is, 75, that's 75 right there. So hitting 75 at 10 minutes is not anything to slouch at whatsoever.
Yeah, Mordekaiser being able to 1v1 though, if he gets the Rylai's and really stick on him and he's not able to get anywhere. You can have all the stacks in the world, but if you can't go anywhere, how are you going to kite out all this damage on top of the shield? So we'll see exactly how quickly he can burst through that Mordekaiser passive as Thresh here is towards mid lane, trying to head towards that Wukong right now. And Mordekaiser coming down as well. Another big team fight could be happening here.
Seraphine!
Seraphine grabbing 2 here.
Woo!
Taunt from the Galio, showing up 2. 2 flashes being used. Ash Arrow not going to find anyone. Spirit Rush used by Ahri as well. Thresh trying to get out a little bit, but nothing to avail. Wukong going over there, and it looks like Grubs will be handed over.
Ayrton had a really nice flash ultimate there to guarantee that landed onto the 2. Now, sure, Ishan gets away, but burns the ult, burns the flash there as well. And so that's going to mean Min gets to just hit for free down here. And we've got nearly a 1,000 gold lead over to Syndicate. They're actually playing these team fights out very well.
Yeah, this Amumu now 3-1 and 2, a really strong start asserting the presence here. We'll see where he ends up going up next, completing the Sunfire here and really feeling strong. So 300 bounty on him as this bot lane pushes in, grabbing a tower plate, possibly a second one here if they end up pressing even more. But it looks like Smolder now went mid and Galio's going top, so a little bit of a change up here.
Not too much of a surprise. Oh, Ahri's damage is really starting to take off, though. She has completed the Malignance, which means her next ultimate is going to have significantly reduced cooldown. She doesn't get it on this one because she used ultimate before. Here, Sixela, though. Hook is going to land! Beautifully done!
Yeah. Hook lands, Ahri. Spirit Rush going in, and with that completed. May not take effect, but the amount of burst damage from the electrical proc is just way too much. And this now Mordekaiser versus the Galio. We'll see how tanky that Galio actually is against it.
Yeah, Galio went full tank. Now the problem is Galio is basically melee, and so Mordekaiser's gonna be able to beat up on this this gargoyle a bit more freely than the Smolder, who is 0-2, and the gold is back to even. So a nice pick onto the dragon in that mid lane, who just rotated there like a wave or two ago. Second dragon is spawning in 30 seconds, and Mordekaiser is back to their winning ways. Sixela,
Rush
though.
has to get out of here.
Goodbye.
Ash Arrow falling down as well as Galliamumu following up with the bandage toss, and that is just the wombo combo that you want to see.
Yep, well played. That's just so much CC and chain. Mordekaiser is going to be happy to let Raijin clear up those minions, it seems. Yep, we'll be rotating down bot side, though. Maybe they can look for a 4v4 because Smolder does not have teleport, so if they can all get here... Galio is playing Gatekeeper there, and is going to get the... we can look up there onto Ahri.
Yeah, taunt being landed here. Lantern over to safety here. Seraphine ult going over to Zaya. Picking up a couple of their shutdown, 450 gold. Swinging over there, trying to clear a little bit of vision. Meanwhile, Dragon kind of pounding everyone at this point here. Galio trying to find someone else for the taunt. Ahri goes over the Spirit Rush. Does end up grabbing the kill over to Zaya. That should be 2 for her there. Dragon should be going down unless that Ashe has listened into the podcast and decided to trade everything in. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen this time. Dragon going over, and that is 1 for 1, and Hex Dragon here for the soul point.
That was a really good fight for the Woopers, and they didn't even, like, that's what starts to happen once they start getting some gold and some items under their belt. They just win these team fights because, especially with Smolder not there, you just don't have any damage. All your damage is just a little bit of burst there and nothing more. Zaya did so much damage with that ultimate there as well, and even survived. And so, survived the Amumu ultimate, the Curse of the Sad Mummy, and now they've got a 1,000 gold lead for themselves. They've picked up a dragon to even that up. And even the Galio ultimate was interrupted off of the Amumu. So let's see if Raijin, who does not have flash, Wukong, is not going to be able to get in there.
Yeah, just a little bit of a, hey, I'm here, surprise, but at the end of the day, just gonna slink back here. So we'll see if Mordekaiser here does not have the ultimate yet, but is still
Mordekaiser's fighting topside.
Close. There's just
nothing
that can be done here as Smolder tries his darndest to get away, but unfortunately is not able to. Mordekaiser with that Rylai's complete, now the Haunted guys as well. Going to be doing a lot of work here towards that top side.
See if he can take the tower here. I think he might be able to get it. Sixela had to flash away, but he's going to get the tower here. Is Geyser. First tower secured by the Mordekaiser, who is 3-1 and having another spectacular performance on the, I think his old nickname was the Iron Revenant. But I don't know what his new one is now.
Juggernaut. That's what I'm coining.
The Juggernaut, yeah. The big dude.
Really to do. So, Rift here being looked at. The group up. We'll see if the Wombo combo decides to come out. Mordekaiser ulting the Mumu, so there is no team fight yet for him, but there's not a lot of damage yet, so he will be popping out of this ult. Does grab 2 down on there. Zaya towards the side here, trying to get a little bit more damage. Smolder getting picked up here. Ult being thrown down just in time. Mom, please help. But unfortunately, it's not enough to help out here. Does distract enough, but not enough for the Rift. We'll see if anyone tries to pick in there and grab that mid tower.
There goes Wukong.
Mordekaiser and Thresh no longer there, but a in and out just as quick for the monster. 2 minutes, 25 seconds left for the next dragon and the next giant team fight that probably will be happening.
And Gitano, look at the top of the gold. Like 3 minutes ago, Syndicate were up 1k, and now it's a 4k lead over to the Woopers. They picked up 2 towers there, one mid and one in top side. That's the first tower as well. They picked up a couple kills. They picked up that Rift Herald. There's just been so much gold just injected into this Wooper lineup, and they're getting pretty far ahead at this point.
Yeah, the early Wombo combos really worked when there wasn't a lot of health or items being talked about, but now everyone's got a little bit more survivability and a lot more damage coming out here, so they have to be careful about when they choose these fights to have happen. And the last ones that we've seen, there really hasn't been a lot on top of it.
Nope, they're about 4,500 gold down, and now the game is how long can we stall out for Smolder to hit that critical 225? I believe it's still 225, is it not? They canceled the buff or the nerf to make it 275, I believe. Chat can confirm that for me, but I've been called out by chat enough already, so what's one more, right? Anyways,
the fire's already going. Just a couple more twigs isn't going to make that big of a deal.
Yep, we just need Smolder to hit 225, so whatever that critical number is. And then maybe we can get back into this game, because Smolder, once you hit that stack point, you just get so much like value from that. But until then, you're just gonna have to sit back and slowly clear these waves out and try to get there. It'll take another, it'll take another 10 waves or so to get there, which is another 5 or 6 minutes at least for Raijin to hit that number. So there's a lot of time here for Woopers to do whatever they want on this map.
Yeah, Dragon 30 seconds here. They have great vision. Thresh kind of clearing that out. Seraphine now reverse of vision here. Galio towards the backside. They're looking for that nice wombo combo. Mumu finds someone. Seraphine lays on top. Galio starts striking in, but does Ashe have the damage here? She has the Kraken Slayer. We do have
the Mordekaiser TP.
Mordekaiser getting in there towards the backside, trying to look for a fight. Will be spotted out though, and they're gonna have to clear out. I think they just have to give this Dragon. There is no need to go in there. You just need the Smolder to keep farming.
Yep, Smolder needs to get out of mid lane and get back to top side. There's a bunch of stacks you could be picking up there. Or even go bot side. There's even more stacks down there. But Smolder will be heading top side, and Galio will clear out bot.
Yeah, some
Dragon just hand it over to Wooper.
They went mid, 4 grouped, might look to go in, and they said, let's push it back. So a little bit more time delay here for that Smolder. Xayah now 2 items. Got the quick blades and Kraken Slayer being complete here. Wukong picking up the Triforce. Top lane having the Rift Maker and the Rylai's as well. So key items here coming out.
Just waiting to see what Geyser will do next on this 4-0 Mordekaiser.
Probably something drastic if I'm correct.
Xayah has finished the second item, which is the Navori Quick Blades. And Ari is building up towards that is going to be the Liandry. So a bit more of that, which is really good item because you just got so much of that, Dang it, watch for the Ari though. Ari could have an angle to ult and charm over the wall here if Raijin steps forward aggressively.
Yeah, Spirit Rush available.
Raijin?
A little bit of...
Goodbye.
Does find him. There is the charm. Alt Spirit Rush going on. Flash having to be burnt here. Still might be able to pick this.
Mumu there.
Mumu Bandit shots, not able to find anyone. Galio on the backside though. Ash Hero missing. Does not matter after the taunt here. Smolder picking up that kill. Thresh throwing the lantern, trying to pick up Ari from school, but too little, too late. She took the quick way home.
They're on vision though, and they don't know that. So they're gonna...
Airing 20 minutes. What have we said?
Oh boy, Smolder's teleporting in. This could be another throw.
That's a lot of Ashe ult being used there early on, so they are going to be headed away from that. Thresh tried to distract them, does end up doing so, but Baron now relaxed. This team, every one of them, just 20 minutes. Can we take to Baron?
Teleport going to be coming in from the RA to get back to mid lane, and the attempted Baron sneak does not work out. It was a good ward that had been played, so they're wise. Oh, the charm lands!
Charm landing, and the hook as well for the follow-up. Galio crashing down, but it's too little too late. Mordekaiser now looking for that Mumu, does send him to the Shadow Realm, trying to 1v1. Not a lot of places for him to go, does pick up the kill, and now this looks like a much better Baron when you have 2 less opponents to deal with.
Yep, I mean, you do have to deal with a little bit of Smolder poke, but there's no front line to really get you in there besides the Galio. And yeah, it was just a nice ultimate there from Geyser to hop right in, steal out the Amumu, and then the charm, the ult charm from Ishan as well. They're trying to get a bit, they just won them the fight. They're trying to get a bit of gold back here, but Ari's going to be back in time to clear out the wave. Dragon spawning in 2 minutes, so there's no threat of that. Sixela is hanging on the backside. Raijin! Oh, it's not going to land. But Ari's here, and the charm's going to land.
There is the charm on the Smolder. Smolder trying to get out of there, get out of harm's way. Unfortunately, not going to be enough, as Ari does pick that up. A trade back kill here. Thresh going down from the Galio. Oh, you one Baron off your support. It's alright. You delay the Smolder another minute.
Yep, that's another wave or two that the Smolder's not going to be able to catch. we can get a quick stack check there on Smolder to see where Smolder is at. Whenever Smolder comes back alive to see what that's at. But they're going to be able to clear out this mid lane most likely. Ishan will. Nope, they're going to be able to step forward and kill the tower. So Arya's looking in. Oh, a nice flash.
Yeah, that charm just always being the threat, and that's why Arya is such a nice, comfortable pick, almost did anything, because towards that late game, all it takes is a Spear Crush charm, and that main person is caught out, as we saw as the Ashe did here not too long ago. Looking at Smolder now, stacks at 185, so close to that 225 mark, but still a little ways yet to go.
Yep, needs about, what is that, about 50 to get there. So isn't too far away from it. That's like 4 or 5 waves. And then maybe a jungle camp or 2. But mid lane tower is going to go down, so that's the first objective taken. They're up 9,000 gold, by the way. And Mordekaiser's stumbling away in the spot lane tower. That's probably going to go down here as well. I don't think there's much that Galio can do about this. Yeah, guys are just completely ignoring it. And then they can rotate back whenever they want to take that third dragon for themselves, which will be another Infernal in the pocket. And so with that Infernal dragon spawning in 5 seconds, I don't think there's much that Syndicate can do here. They need to sit back and wait. Ooh, a nice hook.
Yeah, hook being landed. Seraphine ult going down, grabbing the Xayah, but Xayah is able to cleanse out of there. Smolder not having TP, he had to back after pushing the top side. Ahri might have it just in time, but there is no major threat now going towards it as a move is headed towards that top side.
Guys is going to be down here just to make sure this dragon goes down a little bit quicker. Ahri clearing out top side. Raijin did take a tower top during that whole escapade there in the bot lane. But dragon is secured. It is actually Hextech Dragon, so the indicator is wrong. Thank you, Riot, small indie company. Anyways, the Mordekaiser is kind of a problem at this point. He's up 2 levels over the Smolder. 5, 0, and 2 has 3 items completed to Smolder's 2, and this Mordekaiser is just very far ahead in this game. So I don't know what you can do about it at this point.
Yeah,
so he can just walk up and ignore.
And the Riley's Crystal Scepter. It doesn't matter who he faces, he's going to be chunking you down crazily, you know. Doesn't matter if it's a tank burst. Ashe Arrow just kind of making its way across town. Might, you know, come along the other side of the map here and try for a second time at some point. They can just start running this down. 2 minutes for Barons and nothing yet on the field. They're trying to answer the Galio with the Mordekaiser here. Mumu wrapping around, might be looking for something, but is spotted out by the ward.
This game is just fallen. It's been quiet because it hasn't been like super blow uppy, but Woopers are up. They're up 9.1k. And like it's just been a slow, steady, like a semblance of a gold lead, not anything like not any big moment that took it, you know? Like it's been fun to watch how they played this one out as goodbye, Raijin.
Yeah,
and
Smolder, unfortunately, wrong place, wrong time here. Galio coming down, crashing on, but it's not going to find anyone because the Shadow Realm being sent out by that Mordekaiser, being able to 1v1. Yes, you go over the wall there, but it's only going to buy you a little bit of time.
Still.
2v1, Galio going in, trying to top with that shield is just so massive. Meanwhile, at the base here, one tower going down, Wukong picking up the tower and the kill on Ashe. Mumu trying to get back here as fast as he can to help. TP going down here from the Mordekaiser. They're going to be able to join the fight, and I don't think there's anything that can be done here as they win.
And that is a win for the Woopers. They're going to take the series 3-1 and move forward into the next level of the playoffs, into semifinals. What a series there from the Woopers.
Yeah, I think the Mordekaiser just really did work between all the games that they played here, just being consistent throughout the entirety of it and kind of really making that choices. As we saw that bot lane push there towards the end, you see that he dragged almost 3 over to him, which really allowed the push there from the other end, and they just kept on taking too much here. If you're going to go on that Mordekaiser, you got to go before your base was taken, and by the time they shifted over, it was entirely too late.
Yep, it's just another game. Guys are doing the most damage in the game, and you gotta just hand it to Geyser. This guy has been unstoppable the entire series, dominant on the Mordekaiser, just ruthless on the Aatrox, and completely carried this entire series. Shout out to Mordstrike for having a very nice set of games as well, but Geyser was just by far the standout player of this entire match.
Yeah, some great picks by Ari, Saya, and Thresh really doing work. But yeah, top lane guys are really just shouldering the load of being the consistent carry towards the top and really causing issues in both draft phase and in game.
So now, as we look forward, it's going to be on the whoever they match up in semifinals to figure out what can we do about Geyser. Is there anything we can do to stop this titan in the top lane who has really come into a dominant form in this quarterfinals? What do you even look for? Maybe you have to ban the Mordekaiser no matter what at this point.
Yeah, Mordekaiser's got to be that button that you push every single time. If it's not first picking away from it, you have to ban it, as well as get a little bit of help topside. Grab something that can really get in there and really pound him down to make sure he is not a brutal force here by that 10 to 15 minute mark, because we see him TP picking up 2 or 3 kills, going back topside, and really translating that into that dominating force. So it's either you have to take your win advantage to another lane, hopefully they can carry and counter that Mord late, or you have to stop the Mord, but you have to choose one or the other, and it's got to be done early.
At the end of the day, though, it is Geyser and the rest of the team there at the Woopers who step forward into the semifinals. Dominant showing from them. MVP, of course, is going to go. I think you would agree with me, handing it over to Geyser with a phenomenal performance here in the quarterfinals. We'll have to see if they can keep it up in the semifinals next week. That, I think, though, will be it from us here today, unless you have anything else you'd like to add.
No, I think that was great. Great game showing. A lot of great team fights going out by both teams here, but guys are just saying, hold my beer and watch this.
Guys are putting on a performance saying, hate me or love me, you watched and that's all you could do. And puts out a dominant showing. Congratulations to the Woopers for moving forward into the semifinals. I am Sharpie. This has been... There we go, it's mirrored. This has been Gitano, and thank you all for joining us tonight for this really fun set of games. We had some banger drafts and even more banger gameplay as the games went up and down. It was quite the roller coaster of matches. It's been a pleasure to cast for you all, and we will see you all next week for the semifinals. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good